both the Department of Justice and former President
Call
Trump.
into savings and get ready for cooler weather with a call to Shelby Heating and Air. Right now, they have some fall service deals and other great deals. Like right now, they're offering a fall service special of $89 for a heating system checkup. Don't you be left out in the cold. Also, get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Be ready for the cold with one call to Shelby Heating and Air. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. It's time to fall into saving. Celebrating lives and healing grieving hearts. That's the theme of the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. For more information, visit the websites at StameyTysingerFuneralHome.com and StameyCherryvilleFuneralHome.com, both giving you the gift of comfort for you and your family.
$100 off. That's right, $100 off. Tom's Tables on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway now has $100 off delivery and setup of any pool table in stock. Come get yours today. Tom's Tables is a full-service pool table company. Stop by their showroom and let them have you playing tonight. And now get $100 off delivery and setup of any pool table in stock. Tom's Tables on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway. Call 704-678-0064 or visit them online at tomstables.com. And they now carry the new presidential pool tables.
It's time to fall into savings and get ready for cooler weather with a call to Shelby Heating and Air. Right now, they have some fall service deals and other great deals. Like right now, they're offering a fall service special of $89 for a heating system checkup. Don't you be left out in the cold. Also, get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Be ready for the cold with one call to Shelby Heating and Air. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
At home on YouTube, we're getting some silence there for a little bit. Sorry about the folks at home on that. We had your mics off on that one. That was my fault, not you guys. You guys.
So we read the scores to nobody.
Yeah, you're on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ones online were looking at you, just staring.
Okay.
But they could see the scores, so they didn't have to hear you, so it didn't matter. For the folks that didn't get any audio there for a minute, you could have read the scores yourself. But there you go. We'll read them some more. I've got this for the guys. I did look this up last night. Terry, if you'll hit that computer button right there for me, just 1 second.
He wasn't prepared.
Tom, if you're talking about me, you're going to be disappointed the rest of the day because I didn't do any bad picks. I didn't make you a graphic for your top 10.
Man.
So if you're in here to complain about my lack of work today, either you can leave or I can leave. Because it's not going to be a good day the rest of the day.
I have been admonished, so I guess I better be quiet. I better be quiet.
I have no idea why that's actually not working. That doesn't make any sense because it should work. Let's see if I can. I'll do this in here. How about this? Tom, let's see if this works. Listen to this.
Yeah, I can.
Rabham Gap Nakuchi. So for pronunciation, folks, I know you guys couldn't hear it at home. But
Nakuchi, that's what I said.
I played that for Tom and Terry.
You did.
Terry would definitely need it.
No.
Make sure
That's right.
I was just trying to figure out. I was like, no, do they not have a first name? But I guess that's it.
Well, they beat AC Reynolds.
Yeah, that's a good win.
37-20. AC Reynolds is a pretty good 4A school.
I just like to know where they're from.
Didn't AC Reynolds beat Shelby?
Yes.
Okay.
By a good bit.
Yeah, by 20-something.
They're a pretty good ball team. That running back was ridiculous. Terry, it is a small private college preparatory school in Rabun County, Georgia.
There you go.
In the Appalachian Mountains. It's a boarding and a day school.
Well.
And they smoked our 4A.
You can go pick. Well, no, it's nothing like that. Here we go again. I can go pick who I want to come there.
Well, that's true, but it's football. You need to pick 50 of them to beat AC Reynolds, though. It's not like this ain't basketball or baseball, Terry.
Well, there's your difference
boarding and
from
homeschool or boarding and day school. Tom just smoked AC Reynolds.
Yeah, but it depends on what kind of day school. If it's a for
if it's
sports,
like the team that East Lincoln played a few years back, probably 10 years ago, that they had real grown athletes.
Yeah, check some birth certificates, right?
Yeah.
Centrally located between Atlanta and Greenville, South Carolina, and Asheville, Raven Gap is ideal setting for young learners to thrive. We're home to a loving community and faculty.
Well, they thrived last
about
night.
650 students. So they're about 1A size school.
Yeah, but I can pick you, buddy. I'm getting Tom Brady. Yeah.
Well, that's not just you. Just kind of sure, Terry. Like, hey, Tom, Tom Brady. You want to come to Raven Gap, Georgia?
I'm telling you, if they're a winner, he'll show up.
The cream of the crop's leaving Atlanta and Athens and come up to Raven Gap, Georgia. But either way, they sure did handle AC Reynolds last night. Some of the other scores I was talking about with you guys, Tom, were close there in that game and pulled away. Last year, you guys were up on them, and then they came back and won. Let's see, the Shelby gets their first win of the year. Bessemer still trying to get their first win of the year, up 13-0.
Yeah, they did.
Pulled off. Last week, they were up 7-0 with a minute to go in the first half and turned it over in his 14-0, and then got beat 21-0. So last 2 weeks, just close, not close enough with the new coach. With that, JP, we'll be having a phone caller here in just a few moments. And do what? Was he on the phone?
Philip, just rang in.
Was he on the phone?
Yeah.
Was you on
there
notifies?
we go.
He just stuck his head down. Started drawing pictures in there.
Well, he's drawing.
You were talking.
Some
I was
kind
on my
of
way to you.
Mask
were
America
done.
kid or something.
Geez. I usually get at least like a jumping jack. No jumping jacks. A wave. Sure, that'll work. Hey, we need to get you a sign. That's it right there. Well, supposedly on the phone, we've got new head coach and first-time winner on the phone, Coach Philip Russ, East Rutherford Cavaliers. If JP hit the button right, is that true? Philip, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, bud.
Coach. Saw you got the big win over Madison Patriots last night, 21-14. Why don't you tell us about your kids?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now, they're getting tough on this young body of mine.
Have you been to sleep yet?
No, they played well. I'll tell you, my beard has gained some white and gray hair this season already. But we've got a real good young bunch, guys. It says a lot to play after a couple years off on varsity, with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores led with just a sprinkle of juniors and seniors. And last night was good. It was good for the community. It was good for the program. And it was really good for those kids. There's a crazy stat that's kind of went around, for some of my seniors. They've had 6 head football coaches since their 7th grade year. So they've been through insurmountable odds and adversity, especially with the COVID season. And last night it was good to get the monkey off our back, get a Friday night victory. Last year we played only JV, but this year, we've made small steps every week. And we finally put some things together in the right direction last night to be able to come off the field victorious.
Well, Coach, my question for you, and I understand, I know any high school all of a sudden drops football for a whole year, and then they try to bring kids back. And just like you was just mentioning, you got more of freshmen and sophomores and stuff like that on this team. Do y'all have a JV team there this year, or will that be next year or the next?
No, we actually do have a JV and a varsity team. And kind of how I fell into the head coaching role, we made a coaching change like the last week of summer workouts. Some of the things that were our main key focus, even from the athletic director office and meeting with my administration, was the number issue. We had got down again in the summer to about 14. And, I'm not going to say that it's anything magical. I feel like I've got good relationships with the kids. We turned around, went back the next week when I was named head coach, and we saw our numbers start at 35. We currently sit at about 62. So I've got about 29 kids, I think, on my JV team. The rest are on varsity, and we do some 8-quarter dress-ups. So we've got about 62 in the program, and that's huge. We went from 14, 15 kids, and now we're back at 62. So we're dressing a varsity team. We're dressing a JV team. Our JV team actually have been in some nail biters themselves. Their first couple games, I think the first game they lost by 2. The next week they played Tuscola. They lost 17-12. And then they went to McDowell and lost a nail biter 38-34, led the whole game, and late score kind of put them down. So those guys, which is real interesting, it's heavy freshmen. I think we've only got on that team probably 5 or 6, maybe sophomores. So when you look at the big picture, East football is trending in the right direction. We're getting a lot of great reps. And what we were telling kids all summer is like, hey, go find a friend, go bring somebody. Even if they never played football, bring them out, because we're going to be able to have 2 teams. JV is going to get you maximized reps because we're going to have just enough. So get everybody out and let's get this thing rolling and get better together.
Well, when were you at 15? You said late summer?
Yeah, so like the second to last week of July, we had trickled back down to about 15, 16 kids that were showing up for summer workouts and stuff like that. It just got into an attrition thing for them, and I think they just there were some relational issues between what they were coming in and the way the work was being asked about them, and it was very different. I can tell you that once we arrived, the one thing that I did to try to get buy-in back from the kids is, man, we just started doing what Coach Green used to do. We started feeding them watermelon after a hot day, and we got them popsicles, and we gave out little mini Gatorades, and we just let the community come in. That was the big thing. I felt like at most of the stuff that I saw last year, my year one at East Rutherford, was that there was a disconnect. All the communities weren't represented, and we had to figure out how to get them brought in.
Hauling material or bailing hay. Sorry about that.
Go ahead,
It's
Phil.
okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It just was, there was some disconnect in the community, and we just wanted to be able to reconnect those wires and get, the funneling back in to where the people could come in and love on our kids. Practices are open. Now that top row of our visitor stands, we're averaging 8 to 10 parents and community people that are just coming to watch practice because it does look different. It's set up more of a college-style practice. It's a lot of stuff that most of the successful programs I've ever been around, we see crossover time. My defensive line coach, anybody that he's not got in like on our offensive scheme, he's getting his own. He's still in indie reps. We've just really kind of revamped everything, and once we did, the kids had a great time. I'll be honest with you, I think I've got up with my pop culture because we played music at practice. There's some songs I've never heard before, but got a good beat and got a good vibe, and the kids enjoy it. And so, hey, like I told them, whatever you listen to, if we can play it and it's clean, let's play it because you'll think about that music before you think about it being hot. And we've noticed that tempo and energy in practice has stayed up, and so we're getting high-quality reps every day. And it's just been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun for the kids because they're getting to experience real football again. And it's been a while since that's happened. Like I said, we've got JV practice, varsity practice interceding with each other. I've made some crazy hires. I got Alex Kale, ex-Crest offensive lineman, won the state championship Crest, played on scholarship at Wingate. I've got Donovan Manning, who played at Gaffney, then Gardner-Webb, then played a stint with the Panthers. We brought on Griffin Stamey, who was an East Rutherford grad that went on and played at Wake Forest. We brought in Zach Anderson. He was a defensive lineman that played at East and Chase and then went to Wake. And then we brought on Kendall McGowan, and he played baseball and football at East and went on and played baseball at Appalachian State. So we got a bunch of guys that know how to get it done at the collegiate level. And so, mixing that in with my DC, Turner Kincaid, and my JV head coach Lee Lale. Lee's a graduate of Crest, and played a ton of football, got a ton of experience. So I've got the right mix of coaches, and then I've just got really eager, hungry kids that are coming in every day trying to pick up and learn as they go week to week with us.
Well, it definitely sounds like you got going in the right direction, and you've always been a high-energy guy, and I know that your kids feed off of that. And you've been around. You've coached in a lot of different parts of the country, so I know that you bring that wealth of experience and those the different things that you were talking about. And connecting with the kids is important, and you really do understand the relationship aspect of coaching, and I tell you, that's huge. If you have the right relationships with your players, they'll want to come out and practice, and they'll want to run through a wall for you. So glad to hear you got it going in the right direction, and you got your win. Are you guys playing next week? Do you start conference next week? What's lies ahead for the Cavaliers?
Yeah, well, we've got a tremendous amount of leadership and different angles of coaching that I got to witness just in my time at Burns. If you think you've got Coach Devine, that was the defensive coordinator for me, that's now the head at Burns. You got offensive line coach, who's the head coach at Chase. You got the strength coach, who's now the head coach at Patton. All these guys kind of spread out, and there's so many coaches that you could sit and mention that kind of gave you examples. And so once you get into a role, you get to kind of put your flair on it. But when you look back at it, it's real exciting. I got to work under some of the best head coaches around, Joe Pinion, Tom Sane, Larry Boone. That's just to mention a few. Those guys, they kind of show you how to do it, and you take from them. And I just tell people all the time, I feel like the Easter Bunny. I just kind of hop along, pick up some of the shiny eggs that these guys drop, and leave out for us young assistant coaches. And I've put enough in my basket over the years that I feel like, the time is good for me right now. My family's extremely supportive, and we've been able to piece this together. But, at the end of the day, we've got conference coming up. Mountain Foothill 7 is a very strong conference, given the circumstances of who all's in it. And, I've just been blessed with a great bunch of coaches and a great bunch of kids to kind of, get back to work and try to build some game plans and put ourselves in good situations each Friday.
Well, Philip, we appreciate you calling in this morning. Once again, congratulations for that big win. Conference season coming up. Best of luck to you, and we look forward to hearing for you down the road. And that shout-out you gave, I'm sure all those coaches appreciate it. I'll make sure that they know you appreciate what they did for you back in the day.
Yes, sir. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you for what you do every morning on Saturdays, just recognizing these young people and recognize all these great programs in our local area. Love you and hope y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, Philip.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Go get a nap. Go get
See
a
ya.
nap. You sound tired.
That's it. See ya.
All right, that's Philip Russ, head coach, East Rutherford High School, who gets a big 21-14 win over the Madison Patriots
Sound like
last
he's
night.
up all night TPing houses and stuff, don't you?
I tell you, when you haven't won a game in 2 or 3 years,
That's it, man.
that's big. That's big for their
He
program.
probably had 1,000 phone calls last night.
Oh my God!
Too.
Yeah.
Well, coming down the mountain, I'm sure I meant to ask him about that. How fun the. It's a wonder he can even speak right at this point, probably with all the yelling last night and screaming. I'm sure the bus ride home was pretty fun for them.
Yeah, I was about to say, was that a home?
Oh no, that was in Madison. That was the best. That's probably the best bus ride those kids will ever have.
Yes.
2 hours.
Well, I'm glad he's got a lot of freshmen in the program because I know a lot of people. We know how football works these days. Everybody's a free agent, and if you don't get in there and get in the community and build those relationships, those kids are going to go play elsewhere. So he's doing the right thing, and if you've got 62 kids in your program,
Yeah, but you went from 15 to 62.
Something was
That's
right.
fantastic.
Something.
Yes.
But yeah, that
means
speaks to
there
two
was
things.
a problem
Yes.
with personnel.
Yeah, that he's doing a very good job, but somebody was
How
maybe
about some
didn't want to be
highlights,
there.
Guys, y'all ready for some of those? I know you two have.
What's that?
Highlights.
Highlights.
We're gonna start off. Let's see if this works. I'm scared to hit the button now. Let's try it, Terry. You can try hitting that button. See what happens.
Which one?
Hit the computer button. That's not. Just take that. I have no idea the difference between last night and tonight. Hadn't changed anything. Walked in, turned everything on. Trying to get a little sound off that for you. Let's see. We're going to start off. I tell you what. Why don't y'all two read the scores one more time, and I'm going to try to work on that little problem.
All right, I'll do the left again, Terry. Burns 48-28 over Watauga. Chase 50-0 over Cherryville. RS Central on top of Chesney 27-20. Shelby defeats High Brighton 57-21. Christ the King comes back, nips Bessemer City 14-13. South Caldwell over Bandy's 31-24. Drone crushes Highland Tech 62-6. Hendersonville big over Mountain Heritage 51-16. Coach Philip Russ, you just heard from him. His East Rutherford Cavaliers defeat Madison 21-14. Irwin over Brevard 27. McDowell over Avery County 46-21. Cherokee over Rosman 34-8. Robbinsville over Smoky Mountain 28-27. Swain County over Pisgah 20-7.
Winston-Salem Carver 52-32. Andrews defeated Mitchell 44-27. It was North Henderson 44, Black Mountain Owen 34. It was North Wilkes 28, Allegheny 14. It was East Surrey 54, South Stokes 0. East Wilkes 36, Wilkes Central 16. It was Thomasville 24 and Forbush 13. Mount Airy over Ashe County 51-29. Lake Norman no trouble of Alexander Central 37-7. And Rayburn Gap defeated AC Reynolds 37-28. It was East Henderson 28, North Buncombe 24. Freedom no trouble with Patton 40-14. Pine Lake Prep over Starmount 21-2. And Mountain Island Charter 27, Union County 0.
All right, Terry, hit that button one more time, see if it doesn't go crazy. Hey! I hit a button. They like that to me. Like in button too.
I'm not going to criticize anything else.
I'm just glad he got it right.
I've already been asked to leave. So feel like a kid in class. Would you like to leave, Johnny?
Yeah. Either you can listen or you can get out of here.
You can leave.
All right.
You're dismissed.
So here's Bessemer City going up 7-0 with a Terrence Smith 32-yard run and the extra point good. Smith gets out here to the left. As soon as he gets here through the 20, shoots the gap, and big long leg scores in for Bessemer City. That was 7-0. Then another 44-yard run just a few moments later in the first quarter, and he's out again, 13-0. Terry at this point. Feeling pretty good about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You could have made a lot of bets there in the stands and not, we're not going to score another point ever in the first quarter. So, kudos to, who they play again?
Christ the King.
Buckling down their defense there, not allowing another point. This is Shelby's first run of the night, and this kid he was a running back for Gone last night. Bryson Key and Allen, I think. This is the play of the night by us, for us last night, guys. This is over in Cherville, Derisma in the corner going up to catch this ball. Just watch him go up high point this.
That's what Shannon Allen doesn't have a whole lot of faith in this Chase team, but I'm going to tell you, they're pretty good,
some
man.
Good athletes. Shelby, 14-0 on High Brighton with a pass here from Dalen Lee into the corner. I think that was Eli Falls on that one because there's Isaiah right in front of me and to Keith. So there's only so many receivers they can throw to, I guess, over there. 15-0. Here, Chase took the lead over Cherville with the Marquise McCombs. Then Shelby with another run made it 21-0 up at High Brighton. Then Christ the King gets on the scoreboard, making it 13-7 here. Now, this is just poor tackling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Screen pass or out pass on the 12. Yellow Jackets couldn't finish them off. And that right there, you 2-point convert or an extra point. You didn't
and that
get,
right there
that
changed. That changed the game right before half.
Should have won that ball game. 22-0. Chase went up on Cherville on this Marquise McCombs run.
McCombs, that's another guy that you're going to hear a lot about. I know last night when I was listening to them, he had like 13 touchdowns on 31 carries for the year.
It was 10 touchdowns, 25
That's
carries.
what I'm saying. I mean, it's
averaging 108 yards a game on like 11
Just
carries.
telling you, I don't think, like I said, I know Shannon has not got the faith that a lot of others do, but I'm telling you, that East Rutherford, that Chase team has got some athletes
But
on it.
on the opposite end of that, if you speak of that game, and I know Coach Pruitt will call in a minute, but they gave them short field positions.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah, but I just think that between that and I think they've got a good little coaching staff as well. Go ahead, Kevin.
RS Central right here goes up 6-3 on Chesney. They play Hendersonville next week. We've got Hendersonville 3 of the next 4 weeks on Waggy. So we're going to see how good the Bearcats are here on the KTC broadcast, and we'll have some highlights of that. This 14-13 here to Christ the King. Little handoff up the middle, and he bounces out to the left, and the Yellow Jackets couldn't finish it. 13-3 is RS up the middle for about 3 yards for the touchdown. Hilltoppers. They got pickaxes on their helmet.
They're the Hilltoppers.
I guess that's not a big key. 28-7. This is High Brighton cutting the lead, scoring on Shelby here. Looking it done up the middle. This was deleted. I got to ask RJ why he deleted that video. That might have been the interception. Yes. So this is the long run here from Chase. Made it 36-0. Gets pretty fast. High Brighton scoring on Shelby here. 35-14. Speaking of fast, he was out. Chase here, quarterback keeper again around the right end for the touchdown. Then this is the fumble reverse. He handed it back to his partner there, Tom. Defender handed it off, and then he ran the other way from school. So nice little play by Shelby. That's what I think Steve was talking to us last night about. It might have been a pass.
Yeah, it's not your daddy's High Brighton team this year, is it, Terry? I mean, it's just they've had some really strong teams recently, but they're down a little bit this year.
I guarantee last night also Steve DeGree was in a different mode.
Yeah.
After a victory.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a little better.
Yeah, I heard him on the post game interview, but when we've gone up to High Brighton a couple times in recent years, we've had some playoff games up there. The locals, let's just say they enjoy maybe talking a little smack, Terry, when you get up there, but not talking too much this year.
20-17, RS Central versus Chesney for a touchdown. This is Chesney cutting it.
I wonder how big a school Chesney is, Kevin.
2A.
That's a 2A.
South Carolina 2A, however that's measured.
So similar size school.
I'm guessing. This is Chesney kick, the kick, Chesney.
Ooh, almost blocked.
Wait, 27, 20. All right, there's your highlights for some of the other local games. Now, I got to jump over here to Shannon's page for your Burns last night, Tom, for the Bulldogs and the Pioneers. Ended up being a really good game, like you said. My biggest complaint that I have is that whoever chose the uniforms last night did a bad job.
Well, it was just hard to see.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all didn't look good. I'm saying y'all chose the same uniform colors as they do, and you guys have yellow pants, don't you?
I would assume so. I don't think I can't remember if I've seen them this year.
Or do y'all still have them? That's what, are they being saved for something special? But
I
anyway,
can't remember if I've seen them.
Both teams last night in navy blue and royal blue and white, and then you guys had some yellow piping. But you guys there, when we watched the highlights for you folks at home, that is Burns in the
navy blue
in Watauga.
And that pass right there, I said on that drive, I was keeping my drive stats, and they had hit us, Terry, for 8 straight runs. And I told Matt, I says, you know what? They're going to hit you with the play action pass. I said, if they're able to run the ball like that, it's only a matter of time. And there it was, Terry. He's got 3-4 yards.
Yeah,
that ball's underthrown.
He slipped right by.
That ball's underthrown, and he still had 2 yards on the defender. So
trying to got caught the safety cheating. It looked like trying to stop the.
Well, that's what happens. You can't help it. I mean, you're going to gravitate towards that line of scrimmage, and somebody's going to slip behind you.
Norris with a touchdown left made it 7-7, tie the game. Then next score was Burns going up 14-7 on this play. Nice little play here.
They like to do that. LJ and Ryan Thompson, they like to just step back, whoop, and see what he can do in the out and field. See right there, make a man miss, boom, touchdown. It's Terry. That's an extension of your running game. That's all it is. What are you talking about?
I was just asking. I don't know.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it.
Is this all?
No, that's not a block. Terry.
Where's
Terry, this is not the Lincoln County Pee Wee League. Right there, boom, right there. That's not a block in the back.
That's a block in the back.
No.
I'm just kidding, Tom.
I know you.
Wait a minute. We can make this bigger.
There you go. Look.
Yeah, if you put that.
His whole head is turned.
You did not show the initial contact. That's not the initial contact.
Oh.
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
Back. Go back.
Okay.
Go back.
My head still
go
not
back. Right there in the side. You're allowed to get him in the side. And he just pushed it down.
Okay.
He hit him about, 7 o'clock in the helmet?
He finished it off in the back.
7 or 8 o'clock.
You could.
It's a good score, Tom. That's all that matters.
On optics, yeah, you could have got it.
It's all right.
On optics, you could have.
The referee standing right there next to him was looking at the ball and not the block in the back, Tom. So
I'm sorry for bringing that out, Tom.
And I don't like to talk about officials too much. But one thing that officiating crew did, if you want to talk about the phantom call and some of the others, when you have a penalty, you throw the flag. What's a penalty? Illegal shift. Illegal shift. Burns, mark it back 5 yards. Let's go. They were you watched it, Kevin. Mm-hmm. They were taking like a minute for a procedure penalty, Terry. A pre-snap penalty. There's nothing to discuss.
What they all get together?
No, I don't know what they were doing. And the official, what's the first thing you do? You throw the flag. Jimmy, what you got? I got false start on 62. False start, 62 offense. Mark it back 5 and let's go. He was like marking it off sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to tell the crowd what it was." It's like, how long has this guy been a referee?
Well, he might have been his first year doing it. Well, he's nervous.
If it's his first year doing it, he needs to go back to middle school. Work on it.
It is Zapruder film time, Tom. We're going to show the play.
The fumble.
This is the fumble, Terry. I'm going to show it full screen so everybody at home can see. Because Terry. Now, at this point in the game, this is what has just happened. Burns got stopped on a 4th and 10, which everyone in this building, and I think in the press box, Tom, thought you guys got the first down to begin with.
Yeah.
So then Watauga gets the ball and then runs the play, fumbles. Burns picks it up and scores, and then they say there's a flag. Let's see if anybody sees a flag, first of all, and then we'll look for a holding on Burns. So this is the play.
I didn't see a flag.
Handoff up the middle. Dragging down, ball's out. The only thing I've seen throw now is the fumble Did y'all see that?
I saw
the
that.
fumble marker. No, any yellow flags, guys. Any yellow flags. Any yellow flags. Any referees throw any flags. Any referees throw a flag. No flag by a single referee was thrown by our replay. Now let's go back and watch it again. Now let's watch the Burns players, Terry. Does a single Burns player even engage a Watauga Pioneer? Like, watch. Nobody even throws a block. It was a party into the end zone. So let's watch to see if anybody for Burns actually threw a block once it happened. Once the fumble happened. Ball's out. Any blocks? Watch it. Watch the Burns. Watch the blue. Anybody hit anybody? Right there at the last second. That's not a hold. Guy got blocked in the corner as he was crossing the goal line. Anything you guys see there?
I didn't see it.
But look at all the Burns players. They're not even trying to engage. And then right here, 7 dives for his legs and misses the play and rolls to the track. So he didn't get held. So at no point, the only thing that I would say, Tom, this is what Dennis was saying last night, was did they call it on one of these two guys laying on the guy who they just tackled? That's the only thing we can see. And if that's that shouldn't be a foul.
That shouldn't have been
right.
nothing.
Look, not a single other Burns player makes a block. Nobody blocks.
And you're looking for
Nobody
it, but
blocks.
there's nothing there.
And then
we're
okay,
looking for a
Terry,
block just to say,
Terry.
hey, they called it on that.
Then he comes out and
Yeah,
he goes
he got
holding,
worse.
and he points at Watauga,
Yeah.
and then marks Burns back.
So
So
we think the holding in the studio, we thought that they actually called holding on Watauga and messed it up and took the touchdown away from Burns.
in that situation, man, you gotta say, hey guys,
Because he pointed holding on Watauga and then gave Burns the ball back on
I
the
did-
20.
yeah.
How does the ball be on the 20? Was the fumble even on the 20? Let's see where the
you gotta
fumble
mark it 10 yards from
So
the
they
spot
had
of
to
the
be holding
foul.
on the 10, right?
Supposed to be.
Holding on the 10, but
So he
There's nothing there.
fumbles on the 25.
there's the 10-yard line.
Right.
Nobody's
So is
there.
anybody standing on the 10 right now?
Yeah.
Holding should be here. So are they calling that one when this guy dives at the feet? But still no flag comes out. There's the referee right there on the sideline. There's the other one at the end zone. No flag.
That
You
was
said you didn't even see a flag. That was
no. I said no flags, and somebody said flag. I was like, where? Where is it? So I mean, I just didn't understand it.
So the Zapruder film of the Burns game has come out. I still haven't seen anything. We're not just blowing smoke, guys. We're being honest here.
I mean, yeah, the holding penalty had to be on the 10. There's nobody even engaged with anybody else on the 10-yard line.
There was no blocking. There was no nothing.
I think they just screwed up, and instead of getting together and just wave the flag, and when the coach cusses you out, just say, "Look, we messed up. Sorry."
That's all you'd have to say.
Yeah, we're not, because you're going to get cussed out anyway.
Yeah.
You might as well do the right thing.
Exactly.
Option left for Watauga. Terry, they're up 28-21 and lose 48-28 in this game. So good job by Burns just taking care of business at the end. The fumbles at the end, Tom. You guys alluded to it. You can't survive fumbling. You run the option offense. You got to take care of the ball. Now, this is a sweet little reverse play, but your defender sniffed it out and got the big tackle here.
Yeah, I did say I want to see him fumble, and then that's Vince in there with a big body slam tackle. Who had that? Who had the camera work? They did a good job on this
Shannon.
game. Okay.
Don't give him that credit.
Yeah.
They kept running to his corner.
Yeah.
Shannon will get what I'm picking
I
up.
like his tiptoeing down the side.
Yeah, it looked like he stepped out of bounds, didn't it, Terry? You see that?
No, he didn't.
Let's
No.
see.
I give him credit there. He did not.
Right
He's in.
there. He's
in.
way in. He's
Yeah.
way in. Yeah. There's close.
Yeah, but he's in. I can see the green.
Yep.
Who's that? Is that LJ?
No, that's Surratt.
Oh, okay.
I always get Kahari and Kamari mixed up. I think Kahari's 15 and Kamari's 19, and I think that's Norris.
Yeah, left side. Now, did he get a penalty there for the spike?
I should have. You're not allowed to spike the ball in high school.
They were asking about that on the interweb.
Oh, that's not hard. I mean, that's just
That's a
exciting.
penalty. That's a penalty.
I
You're
know,
not
but
allowed
it's
to do it in high
exciting.
school. Yeah, it is.
Good call, by the way.
One of the fumble recoveries here, Tom.
If Maddox Green doesn't get tired, that's a different game. I'm just telling you, in the first half, Terry, this guy is just ripping off 40, 50, 60-yard runs. And you can't find him. You see how he's not real big? I mean, he would be in the middle of the defense, and you thought the fullback had the ball. All of a sudden, whoop, here he goes, down the sideline. I'm like, what is going on?
All right, folks. Well, that's our high school football scores and highlights from last night. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. We got college football games to pick and more coming up here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Heated and air. On Quality Carrier heated and air conditioning systems. Plus, if you need service, ask for their $55 radio service special. Just mention this radio ad and get your service call for just $55. Call Shelby Heated and Air, 704-487-7877. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC.
Hillside Market and Grill off of Dallas-Cherville Highway is under new ownership and management. Snacks, coffee, auto supplies, oil, and the coldest beer around. Stop in and grab yourself a lottery ticket, and the grill will be opening soon. Hillside Market and Grill, 6710 Dallas-Cherville Highway. Call 704-435-0091. Looking for commercial or residential flooring? Look no further than Piedmont Flooring in Lincolnton. Piedmont Flooring is in the same location as Watson Carpet and Tile. Jason Husky, the owner, has military background and is active in the community as well as sports. Piedmont Flooring specializes in laminate, LVP, LVT, sheet vinyl, hardwoods, tile, carpet, cabinets, countertops, VCT, and backsplash. Open Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 8:30 to 12. Piedmont Flooring, 2129 East Main Street in Lincolnton. Call 704-735-2938. It's a family-owned business helping families.
Keep on trucking on over to Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop of Kings Mountain. This week, check out a 2018 GMC Sierra 2500 HD SLT AT4 Crew Cab with only 73,000 miles and priced at $64,995. Or how about a 2014 Toyota Tundra SR5 Crew Max Cab with 119,000 miles for $36,495. And Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop has employment opportunities for an auto service technician, oil changer, and body shop technician. Also, apprenticeships are available at Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
It's time to head to the mountains. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, that is. Come and play in the shadows of beautiful Crowder's Mountain. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for just $30, and after 1 p.m., only $27. Play and ride weekends for $40, and after 1 p.m., only $35. Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for $20, and seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for only $27. Call for your tee times at 704-739-7681. Located at 255 Lincoln Academy Road off Highway 74 west of Gastonia.
At Carolina Federal Credit Union, we know that we are not like the others. When you make a deposit, you're getting an excellent rate and helping a neighbor refinance for a reliable vehicle, buy a home, or start a family. It has been our community that has helped us thrive for over 50 years. The more that we grow, the better we can serve all of our neighbors. All that it takes to become a member is to be a part of the community. Carolina Federal Credit Union. We treat you like family because you are.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're still talking about high school sports from last night.
No, we're not. Well,
we're not.
All right. The Zapruder, some more Zapruder.
Yeah. Just want to remind our listeners that Saturday Morning Sports Talk is brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Kevin.
All right, let's talk a little college football. We'll start in last week's action up at and we talked a little bit last night about between so Steve last week, coached in the Shelby press game, and then he went up to App to see that game.
What a game.
So Steve, in a matter of 16 hours, saw a 240-point score on a football field.
Saw a lot of lousy defense.
That was nothing to be proud of when it comes to
a lot of teaching points last week in the app Carolina game.
I'll say this, I listened to most of it, because Calvin covered the game, so I put it on my phone. I was out and about. The play-by-play guy for Carolina does a pretty good job. I don't know if you've ever listened to him, but he does a pretty good job on there. But I was listening to it for a while. It's like, first I was like, okay, App's going to blow them out. And then it's like, okay, Carolina's going to blow them out. And it was just back and forth. I bet that play-by-play guy, he needed a nap after that game, Terry. It's like, and I watched the end of it. On television.
There were plays where Carolina picked it up, and the guy should have just fell on it instead of picking up running for a touchdown. And then it shows how bad Carolina's defense is. You kick off the app, and they score in 2 plays.
Well, I
knew when we talked last weekend, you asked me to score, I said like 40-35. I knew we could score 40 points on them. Because Mac Brown hadn't had a defense yet since he's been back.
And I'm going to tell you another thing that really made me mad.
That's just awful.
Well, here's my deal, and I don't know. People judge Mac Brown a lot of different ways. I'm not going to be in a locker room dancing after I went to Appalachian and beat them 63-61. Why are you dancing? You've got so many problems on your team. Okay, your offense looked great.
If it wasn't for a bad pass from the quarterback from App, we'd still be playing football right now with the 2-point conversion.
No, that wasn't a bet. He should have caught the ball. I saw it. He should. The 2-point conversion?
We threw it over his head.
Kevin.
I'm a quarterback, Tom. He threw it over his head.
You were a quarterback.
That's what I'm just saying. He threw it over his head.
Kevin. That should have been caught, Kevin. That should have been
Did
caught.
It touch his fingers?
Kevin. Watch the film. Watch the film. That kid's got to. You got to catch that pass, man. No.
Terrible pass.
No.
Tom, there's a reason he's at his third school.
He flipped it up there. He was at Clemson. The kid was at Clemson, right? The quarterback for App was.
That was the third time Mac Brown's played him in Carolina. Third different school.
He had his finger. He should have caught it. Did you see it?
No, I did not see that.
Pull it
I was in between watching State survive. Yeah, that we should have lost.
Yeah, that was
we should have lost.
But you said they have a hard time in Greenville.
They do.
Yeah, they have a hard time in Greenville. But I'm glad State plays them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not scared to play them. It's a good rivalry because it's in the same part of the state.
Here's another thing. I don't know whether people watched it, but which a lot of y'all didn't because y'all was watching App and all. But I'm watching State. And I'm sitting here like Coach Dorn, call timeout. I mean, it's 44 seconds. The clock just keeps ticking. Yeah. And we finally called timeout with 21 seconds. And I'm like, what happened to the other 23 seconds we just lost? If they would have kicked the field goal and hit it, we would have an opportunity.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why is he not using a timeout?
So, I mean, we just got lucky. We walked away. But now, you know what? When they showed him doing his interview, he wasn't dancing. He was talking about everything that was wrong.
Yeah, they
and Mike Brown's over here dancing.
They ran into an improvement right there.
He gave up.
That's in his hands.
61 points.
Kevin, that's in his hands, dude.
How can we have an argument?
If a receiver
says it never touched him, and the other person says it's in his hands, it never touched his hands.
Watch this. Watch it go through his hands too.
Well, that's a bad.
It's through his hands. It's literally through his hands. It
never touched him.
He should have floated it out there and tried to.
That's what he did. He floated it right over.
He floated it.
He shouldn't have.
And why does the guy turn around? Why is he not running like he's supposed to? He turns all the way around like he's catching a punt.
All right, we've got Coach Pruitt on the phone. He was at this game, eyewitness, and for all the mess. I was there, too, for a little bit. Coach Pruitt, did we get you on the phone all right?
Hello, guys.
Oh, how are you,
Hey, Coach Pruitt.
Sorry, I'm quiet on the Western Front over here. I've been trying to get the girls out to cheer choreography this morning, and I heard Philip on the radio, and then obviously wasn't going to call while he was on. And then we had to get everything ready for them for lunches, and they just left the door, so thought I'd call in real quick. So appreciate you guys.
Go ahead.
Appalachian could have run that play in practice, and the guy's so wide open, he just floated it out there, and that was just something that he did, and that's what he was expecting, maybe a float, and he just extended it. But, something that they can work on. Is great to see him in that position. But, the thing that I think gets lost in that is when we do our special teams and we work hands team, first instruction is if you catch the ball, you better hit the ground or don't come back to our sideline. because the only thing can happen there is something bad. If you try to return it, you can fumble it, you can score and let the other team get the ball back, which that's what they want anyway. And, I just think that's that was a bad coach play, in my opinion, but I shouldn't talk about it. But it is what it is. Kids want to make plays, but also there's times in life where it's team before self, and you go out and do what you need to do in a football game.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's a good football game, and move on to the next. They'll play well at Texas A&M today.
I was going to say, that I had a friend of mine says you can't tell a kid not to score that touchdown. I said I could if I was a coach, but it's just like it seems like you would have discussed that prior to that play. That this situation, this is what we're going to do if you get the ball fall down. Would you not expect that to be coached before that play happens?
Yeah. Well, I look at that play as a fan in the stands, and the way they attacked that play, I felt like they tried to do what they did. They put 3 guys out there to headhunt those guys, and how nobody got called for targeting in that situation, I don't know. But I'm not one to respond to social media too much, but I did respond to a comment about someone on Twitter saying, oh, well, those 3 guys suddenly went to the basketball team. I'm pretty sure all 3 of those guys went back out there for the next onside kick, too. So that's part of the game. Just like last night, we had a kickoff return, and one of our young men, man, does he play hard, Austin Clinton. He's a 9th grader, and on an earlier kickoff, he just filled up in there and blocked a guy and doing his job. And a couple times he got his hands on the ball, and he wasn't sticking up in the wedge. I said, Austin, you got to stick it up in the wedge. And he got a little helmet to chin contact and had to leave the game. But a kid who's just playing really hard, doing what he's asked to do, and that's where we are as a football team right now. We got to do what we're asked to do and execute a little bit better on all phases of the game, and give credit to Coach Cottle and Chase. We knew they were a good football team coming in. Last year, about this time, they were in the same position they're in now. They haven't been pressed or pushed too far. And, it was nice for us to also play a JV game this week against Chase. And our JV scored a couple of touchdowns. Rayshawn Sewell had a couple long touchdown runs, had a quarterback position for us. And a kid who got injured in the game came back in and wasn't part of the game last night, but somebody in our program that can help us out in the future. So we're looking forward to conference play.
Well, Coach, I want to say one thing. I know it's tough, and it's tough as a coach setting over when in the first quarter you almost gave Chase the ball on your side of the field 4 times. And that puts a great task on the defense of having to stop them, even as good as Chase is. I mean, I know that had to be like a down adrenaline thing for your team at that time.
Well, we started off the last 2 games, same situation with the fumble on the kickoff return. And the guy who forced the fumble at one time was getting blocked by 2 guys, and somehow he drifted between them 2 guys and made a play, just kind of punched the ball out. Thought the ball security was a little better than the week before because on the film you can see it. The week before the ball comes out away from our body, and this time it just kind of got Peanut Tillman punched. I guess the guy who used to play for the Panthers kind of created that technique. And, those things are going to happen. Last week we responded well to that. We moved to football and had a couple turnovers in the red zone of that game. Probably 14-10 us at halftime, but come out at halftime after that and played great in the second half. But this week they did have short fields. They're just an offense that, they do what they do. They ran a run-pass option, had some people downfield. You don't see that called a whole lot on a touchdown. They're going to put the ball in Marquise's hands. They got 2 very capable quarterbacks, which it's unique. You don't see that a whole lot where teams play 2 quarterbacks. One of them got loose on a scramble and ran about 60 yards last night, I guess. We have people there breaking down and making tackles in space. Probably the one thing that we need to do better defensively. We've changed what we've done the last couple of weeks. And we need to analyze if that's the best thing that we need to do moving forward, too, with the spread that we're going to see from Shelby and then the power running game of East Gaston. And then, of course, Burns has both of those assets in their offense. And then, of course, our 1A team. So we feel like we're a competitive 1A team. But the thing about that, we've still got to travel through these 3 2A teams in our conference and stay healthy. And last night, that's the one thing that probably avoided us. And go back to the West Lincoln game, we lost a running back. Go to the Blacksburg game, we lost a running back. Austin Clinton is a running back. So we've lost 3 running backs in 3 weeks. So we're down to 2 varsity running backs. And I've got a couple of JV guys who have no varsity experience who would be their backup. We did move a lineman to guard this week, a lineman to fullback this week just to give him some experience. But he's probably, he's a defensive starter, so we don't want to use him unless it's last resort. But it's not a good problem to have going into your first conference game. But we'll be at home next week, and I thought we had a good turnout in the crowd last night. We honored the Chavis Wolverines football team and the Chavis Wolverines softball team. The cheerleaders will be recognized at homecoming because they were part of that festivity, usually in cheering. So glad to do something within the community and have the opportunity to recognize those kids and those families. So next week it'll be Little Ironman night for us, and we'll have a Little Ironman out here. And they play a home game next Saturday. Glad it's not today, the way the weather is. And the Chavis team, which is 0-2, they didn't play great in their first game. They played a really good Holbrook team. Lost by 2 touchdowns last week to Stanley and returned to open kickoff for a touchdown, but had it called back. So Coach Gibson and his staff, Coach Williams, and Coach Snipes are doing a really good job with that group, and they have about 30-some players. They play this Wednesday at 7 o'clock because of a scheduling conflict that Friday. They play Friday at home at 7 o'clock. So we're going to be glad to get football practice over and get to go to the game instead of what I normally do, go to the game and then go to football practice. So it's going to be exciting.
All right, Coach, how many points is that going to beat Texas A&M by today?
I'll take 1.
All right, that's what we'll
I'll be glad to win by 1. But, you're playing the 6th-ranked team in the country on the road, and that Appalachian's going to have an opportunity to play well, but they have to go out. I mean, I was really impressed with their run game last week. I thought that new center is really good, and I was impressed. I really look at today's games and say Georgia State over Carolina is a definite possibility just because of the fact that the Georgia State run game is pretty much the facsimile of the Appalachian State run game since Coach Elliott was at Appalachian State. So that'll be interesting to see how that game plays out. And Carolina might win by 5 touchdowns. I mean, they're that good on offense, but I think that's a game that people might want to watch in terms of teams that match up like that. So, but I hope the Mountaineers play well, and looking forward to a season. But they got Marshall next week. They don't get this one this week, don't get that one next week. They could be 0-3 to start the year. But that's why you run the table. I mean, look at Shelby. They started 0-3, and they played really well last night. So I know they're going to come into town playing well. So we got to be prepared for that. And we got to get better each week. That's the thing that we haven't done and haven't been consistent in. And we're still, with the injuries that we have, trying to find those places where we can get everybody in a position to be successful. So appreciate you guys. It was great to hear Coach Russ on the radio. Congratulations to the East Rutherford Cavaliers on their first win. And it sounds like they're doing some good things. So I'll get off the air and let y'all have back at it. And take care. Appreciate you guys, and have a great week.
Well,
thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Take care.
Thank you.
A couple of things. Carolina Terry, he's talking about, they played Georgia State today. And once I saw that, and I'm like, they better be careful there.
They'll win.
They should,
yeah.
But, don't forget, Georgia State ran 2 or 3 teams pretty good
They
last
did.
year. And
I guarantee Georgia State will score on them.
I don't think their defense is as good as Apt, and we gave up 60. So our defensive end, Tom, they said he had 2.5 sacks in that game. Top 3 first 3 rounds. They said if he shows good today against Texas A&M, you might be looking at him first or second round for that App State defensive end. App, again, 61 points. And I brought up the photos. These are not the people at home can't see that, though. I was just showing.
He selects certain frames to support.
Terry, what does the evidence show? Was it an overthrow?
All
or
I know is we need to do a John Madden. Here's the ball. Here's his hand.
I'm not saying it was a perfect pass. Why is he running back like he's catching a punt?
I agree, though.
Right.
He should have been.
You're 100% right on that. It was so. And here's my angle.
Because he's 5 yards ahead of anybody.
There's nobody even.
Terry will vouch for this. Terry, what's the hardest pass for a quarterback to throw? Is it not a swing pass to a running back?
It is.
100% is that the hardest throw because the angle they're running like on this angle, Tom, when they're running straight away from you, like you and me are sitting in the line right now.
Because you don't want to toss it short.
You're wearing shoulder pads and a helmet. You can only see certain things. So if I throw it this way and you happen to step that way, it's not even going to be close. He tried to put enough air under it.
It's easier for a quarterback.
Where he could figure it out on the front.
Yeah.
He should have waited the quarterback should have waited.
Yeah.
He should have waited another step or two because look how close the defenders are.
They're it's 5 yards away.
He threw it a little bit too early. He got excited, floated it, and it was right in line with the route. And it's just as soon as he let it go, I knew it. I was like, no, because when the running back did that, Tommy, what you're talking about right there, his feet should never be in that position right there. And when he started to turn, I just knew it.
Kevin didn't say no. He went, yes. No, that's what he did.
He let go of that ball, Tom.
No.
I've thrown that ball.
It's easy for a quarterback to throw one with a guy in a full sprint than it is a touch.
Right, but he's just wide open running directly away from you. So
because you ain't sure how hard he's running, and then when you try,
I will say this.
Go ahead.
Both of these teams should be embarrassed.
Yes.
Yeah, but the last thing I'm going to do is be in a locker room celebrate.
I was about to say, Terry, all the hoo-ha and whatchamacallit that we've heard over Mac Brown and these Tar Heels the past few years. In the past 2 years, they've started the season in the top 10, have they not?
They have.
So if you've started the season in the top 10 and you're, Mac Brown, North Carolina stuff, why are you unranked right now? We're 4 years in. I was told this is the greatness coming. 4th year in, we have to bench Chaz Surratt, or we'll be national title contenders in 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And you're sitting here struggling against App and Georgia State. Come on now. Everything me and Terry have been saying since this happened, since he got hired.
I don't.
I mean, the only thing he can sit back and say is, you know what, we're 2-0.
I've
gave up tons of points. I gave up one team that didn't even have starters out there.
This is a team in a state that's pretty football rich. The Carolinas is pretty football rich.
It is.
Virginia's pretty football rich. You could snag a couple guys out of Georgia and Florida too if you get the right guys down there to recruit. This should be one of the top jobs in the country. I'm not saying top 3. I'm saying this should be one of the top 15 or 20 jobs in the country based on geographic location. This is a growing state. Why can't they get somebody at Carolina who's going to really be somebody? I mean, why?
As a coach,
I don't understand. It should
be a coach.
It should be an attractive job, should it not, Terry?
It should be an attractive job. Mac Brown. He wanted that. He wanted that.
It's Mac Brown. He's washed up. He was on TV for 5 years.
Now,
I mean, come on.
Now the Tar Heels have hired some. They've had Auburn coach, or was it Chizik?
Chizik, the defensive coordinator.
So,
yeah.
All right. So here's the thing. I think it's a state problem, Tom. So let's say we don't have the. Where does North Carolina rank on recruiting? I'm not really familiar in this.
I mean, I'd say it's pretty football
probably around
state.
20.
I would
15
say
to 20.
Okay, yeah.
Let's say we're 20th, right? Name the big schools in. So how many Pac-12 teams are in California? 4.
Well, for the time being,
right?
USC, UCLA, Stanford,
and they have
California.
way more people and recruits in California, right? Than
North Carolina. Their kids are playing volleyball and stuff, man.
But again, what I'm saying is that population-wise, North Carolina has how many Division 1A schools playing football that they have to divide their talent among? So, you've got that. Then you've got that monster in South Carolina, in that little state. They've got to recruit outside the state, Clemson and South Carolina. So you're competing with them too.
Yeah, they take a lot from North Carolina.
So you've got 8-10 schools in a state. I guess, and those two combined are less than California competing over players that aren't as good. You can compare it to Texas or Florida. So Florida's got their 3-5 schools, right?
Yeah.
But they have more players than we do in North and South Carolina.
I guess my point would be, why doesn't, even though you guys know how I feel about him, he's a dweeb, but he can recruit, Dabo Swinney. Why didn't Carolina have a Dabo Swinney? I mean, it seems like they should. I mean, if you offered me a job, do you want to go to Clemson, South Carolina, or Chapel Hill? I mean, I'd rather be at Chapel Hill, would you not? It seemed like it'd be better.
Do you want the serious or the conspiracy answer to that?
The conspiracy answer. Go ahead. Give me that one.
Well, Clemson pays their players at the local churches during Mass, or not Mass, but
They're not Catholic.
Right.
Dabo's not
Right.
Catholic.
They play their players through the local churches in other ways. Folks in North Carolina don't go to church, so they ain't got the same people to pay the players on the players. So I don't know how they pay them. There you go. Carolina don't have any churches in Chapel Hill.
Are you serious?
Oh, Lord.
Is he serious about this?
I'm
I told you that's the conspiracy. They gotta find better churches to pass it.
I'm just telling you, I've been to both areas many times, and if I said, where would you like to live, Clemson, South Carolina, or the Triangle of North Carolina, I don't really think it's competition. I mean, it just seems like it would be a desirable area. You got the talent. You're right, Kevin. You make some good points. You're competing with some other programs, but I would think a Carolina or a State should emerge as the dominant football program in North Carolina, and they can't seem to get a coach to do it.
If one of them would go to the SEC, they would.
You know, you might.
It's always that possibility.
Yeah, always that possibility.
If State goes, we're going to the SEC. Now, last week we talked about app stuff. Here's another thing we didn't bring up. The Big 12 is looking to expand. Are they going to go east and west or just west?
They're going to get whoever's going to bring money.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly right.
Whoever's going to bring money.
Terry, how about our offense and defense scoring 60 points a week in the Big 12? Tell me we couldn't compete there.
Yeah, I guarantee you could.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can, other than as far as like conference titles, I think we'd have a decent shot there.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Not saying too nothing crazy. All right, let's pick some games. We don't have the bad picks from last week because it was Labor Day and on 9,000
congratulations to Tom.
What did he do?
He was our winner last week.
Oh, was he?
He was.
Okay.
He did well.
I did. I'm the man.
And Shannon lit up the very bottom end of the everything. I'm talking about. I think Shannon missed so many.
You know,
I got tired of making X's.
Shannon making silly.
Shannon, I love Shannon.
Yeah,
but
Shannon's
I
a great
think
person.
Shannon lives in his little alternate Shannon universe.
He's a Panthers fan, so
yeah. I mean, it's just
a Carolina fan.
Like he's over here with a straight face, straight face, and he didn't have the guts to show up this week. I see, but with a straight face, he looked at me and told me Notre Dame's going to beat Ohio State. Now I expect the ridiculousness from him.
I did,
because he's going to. I'm
not going to pull for
the whole ride
State.
Over here.
That's
he thinks, how can I piss Tom off this morning? All right. So he will do this on purpose just to make me mad. But Shannon is like, it's not like Terry, like I'm trying to make Tom miserable because it's fun. he seriously thought Notre Dame was going to beat Ohio State, and they played well.
They did.
But you got a quarterback that's never started a game. Here you go, son, in front of 110,000 people in Columbus. I mean, that's a tall task.
All right. So I do got a question here. This is one thing we didn't touch on. Terry, you mentioned the guy returning the kick return, right?
Yeah.
Did App State players fall down on purpose? Have you seen the Superior?
I mean, I don't blame them.
They got destroyed. It looks like a cartoon when I show you this. Have you seen it?
You talking about the kickoff return?
Did he return for a touchdown?
Yeah, well, of course they're going to let him score.
But I'm saying,
they wanted to.
They coached him. Watch the App players on this and see if they really did this on purpose. It's weird. All right, here's the kickoff. Watch all the App players. Boom! 5 of them on the ground. Like, how did they all get smoked at once?
I think that's what Coach Pruitt was saying should have been targeting.
Yes.
Well,
this one right here, the bottom one hit was
they just blow them up. Yeah,
that top one. Look at that.
That one up there, top.
How is all three of those? People were saying they did it on purpose. I think all three of them were looking at the ball and got smoked, but they did, didn't they, Terry? Look at this, just boom, and that's what Coach Pruitt. I do believe it. That one right there. But did those three they're saying, did they get blown up on purpose so he could just sneak by them?
That's what they wanted to happen. You know that.
When he jumped in the end zone, I'm in the bar and everyone's screaming. Everyone's going, no, no, no. And I'm like, he can score, let him score.
Yes, that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, we got time now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, no. I was like, guys, it's 28 seconds. The score is 60-50. We're going down the field.
2 plays.
We're getting a shot at the end zone. So, Tom, I know you didn't listen. Did you hear how did I tell you how I got in the stadium?
You said, you were texting.
They were probably little fence posts that got cut.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I get there right at the state, right as far as the game starts.
He makes this trip up there. Now listen to this.
Yeah, I can't believe he was up there.
Yeah, no tickets, no nothing. I drove up there
By yourself?
By myself, and I found a parking spot on the street. No, all the lots were full, and you couldn't buy one. So I found a 2-hour parking spot, and it's at game time. Is it what 3? Let's say 3:30.
Game wasn't at 3. It's a noon game or 1
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
I had to get out of there. Okay, I had to get out of my parking spot like 2. I had this spot till 2:30 is what it was, and so I go up there and I 10 feet walking. I run into friends from here. My brother-in-law's best friend. I see him every other week. I'm like, Jeremy, you got any extra tickets? Dude, we just gave 2 tickets to some people that were.
Wow.
They sit there and tailgate and watch it. They go up there, steal internet off the local school building, and pull up the big screen. They have a little
How about
party.
that?
Oh, that's cool.
So
that is
I
cool.
walk up and it's like, we just had a bunch of tickets. They just all gave them out. I was like, nobody's got anyone. He's like, no, I swear we just gave out some tickets to people. So I just missed that by like 5 minutes. So I'm like, crap. So I had to walk up. I'm like, I'll just walk up through. I'll find somebody. I was hoping I'd find like a drunk kid walking back and be like, hey, you got an extra ticket or something? I did see a couple fighting, a lady, a teacher. During the middle, they're about to kick off. She's just sitting there reading her book outside the class. I'm just like, this is just this is the biggest game in app history. You're out here reading you're going with win, whatever you're reading. But it was a nice little walk up to the stadium. I got up there, and Tom, I don't know if you're familiar. If you go to the stadium, you can go up on the hill on the left side and look at the field and stuff. And so I just walked up there knowing that would be the best view and sit on the hill. And I sat there for the first roughly quarter. And a bunch of people was up on the hill. It was probably 50 of us up there watching from up there. I was like, I'm just going to walk down and see if I see anybody else. I was walking down. So, Terry, you're on the visitor side now. And they've built up the sides, and they've got entrances over there and big and now. So I'm coming around, and this is where the buses pull in to drop the teams off, too. And so when I get there, I walk up on the smoking section. There's just a bunch of smoke going around. And I look around, and the gate's open. And I sat there for a minute. I was like, and I'll watch. And I just kind of stood in the smoking section for a minute with like 20 other people. Everybody's just out here smoking, Terry.
This place will be banned next week.
I look over there. Well, all they needed was a security guard there.
Yeah.
But there was nobody at the gate. I don't know if he was peeing.
I don't blame you,
where he
Kevin.
went.
I do not blame you.
But so I'm looking around, and there's nobody here. And this big, only thing I just found, tall couple. I mean, the guy was 6'6", the girl was over 6'2". So they walk out and they look at me and they're like, "Is this smoking section?" I'm like, "Sure." And as soon as they got by me, my little butt just scurried behind them like a little house.
I just got
there.
through smoking.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There were 2 cops in the area, but they were talking
But they're not
and
going to
enjoying
come
paying
in.
attention.
Yeah.
They weren't looking at the gate. They were just sitting there talking. And I was watching them. They were turned and they were talking, and I just snuck right on in. And I got to watch the first 3.5 quarters, and I had to leave because my time was running out. So I had to run down the street. I ran literally to my car because in Boone they'll tow you in a heartbeat. And it's not that it gets towed. I don't know where it gets towed. And I'm by myself. So if it gets towed 3 miles away, here I am now. I got to walk 3 miles to find this stupid car. So anyway, I got back to the Jeep and moved it uptown in front of McAdoo's and got out and watched basically the end of the fourth quarter and all the craziness with some Boone Goons. There were some Tar Heel fans in there. They were trying to get a Tar Heel chant Terry going, and it was put down pretty quickly by the App fans. But ton of people. I actually saw more. I saw only one person that I went to school with, and he was actually, guess what he was doing? He was the head. I didn't tell him I snuck in.
Yeah,
he was the head of the electronic sales systems. He's the one that set up the point of sale systems in there. So he's just sitting there monitoring everything. And we got to talk for a little bit, but yeah, I didn't tell him.
But future games, there will be 2 security guards over there checking everybody that walks in and out.
It's going to be like grainy photos. Have you seen this man?
Got his picture up.
I'll tell your secret. I'm like,
this guy.
I'm not sneaking in the.
Be some D.B. Cooper sketches.
I see it.
Have you seen this man put on T-shirts? Have you seen him snuck into game?
I didn't think about it. Next week I'll have the pictures. I'll pull some pictures up for you guys and show some pictures I took inside.
Yeah.
So I got some great shots. And
I thought about going to state and that when they play and they're sneaking in that way, but I doubt we'll make it.
When do they play? What year do they? What year?
2025, something like that.
They don't. Okay.
Terry, I know a guy.
Yeah.
All right,
There
real
we
quick, in case
go.
you're wondering, Tom, Chase Bryce's backup is Brady McBride. They can go ahead and put him in for all I care. If you're going to miss a wide open guy like that, fire him.
I don't think it was that bad of a throw. I just don't think it was that bad. I mean, you know.
I know. All right, let's do the scores this week. How about that? Let's pick some games.
All right.
All right.
We're not going to pick Ohio State. They're playing Arkansas State. They're a 50-point favorite.
Yeah. Leave them out.
Caesar Sportsbooks has them at 44.5.
There you go. They'll cover that probably. Yeah, they'll probably cover
They
that.
got the quarterback from Florida State.
Who?
I can't remember his name. They got the guy from Florida
All
State.
right. This is my fun stat of the day. You ready for this? Texas is bigger underdogs at home than Appalachian is on the road at Texas A&M.
I can
You
believe
hear that? The Texas Longhorns are bigger underdogs to Alabama than Appalachian is to Texas A&M on the road.
Who's the coach of Texas?
Mac Brown, it.
Yeah, Mac Brown. Yeah.
No, what's the guy? God, what's the guy? Sarkisian. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there we go.
20-point favorite is Alabama. Anybody got an upset over here? Either one of you?
I
got Alabama.
Do they cover?
Do they cover? Now this
20.5.
I'm gonna say yeah, they cover.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah.
Hard to say. I say they won't. I think Alabama's gonna blow them out.
Tickets as low as $7 for
There you
Alabama,
go.
Texas. Tom, Ohio State plays St. Mary's School of the Blind this week.
Yeah, it's I don't know why they're playing Arkansas State, but okay.
Like, where do you get that one from?
I
All
don't
those
know.
teams in Ohio, tons of teams.
They're
Wouldn't
playing
you better-
Toledo next week.
Yeah, you can play Bowling Green, Toledo, Kent State. I can name 50 schools in Ohio, I think.
So when Tressel was there,
Arkansas State.
they started playing the in-state schools
what you
because
should be doing.
he wanted the money to stay in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to pay Arkansas and your money goes out of state. You might as well, play Ohio University. Play somebody in the state. I mean, you're going to beat them.
Can the Gamecocks upset the Razorbacks in Arkansas, Tommy?
No, I like Arkansas at home.
Me also, Arkansas.
Spelling bee in Tennessee today, boys. Wake Forest and Vanderbilt. And they've got the same exact colors. You won't be able to tell anybody apart.
Well, here you are. ACC against the SEC nobody.
Big time.
Yeah, ACC somebody
Wake
against
Forest
the
is favored
SEC
by 13,
nobody.
according to
Is Hartman playing?
papers.
No.
No, it's the backup.
I still like Wake Forest. I think they'll have enough to get by the fighting
Well, I'm
pocket
gonna tell you
protectors
what.
there.
I'm not a SEC man, but
Yeah, you are.
No,
Yeah, you are.
I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Vandy. Terry takes the upset. Terry, y'all ain't even brave enough to play regular Charleston. Y'all play South Charleston this week, and there's no spread on that one.
Good. We'll probably survive.
South Charleston?
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was a South Charleston. We're playing South Gaston.
all we need's a W. A good W, not
Notre Dame's
nonchalant.
favored by 20 at Marshall. We're going to try to find some closer ones. App State and Texas A&M. Do they
Whoa.
cover 18.5? Terry,
Do they cover? Yeah. Oh yeah. App State
do you
to
think
cover
about
that.
them winning?
On the road.
No.
Did you see that defense last week, Terry? Will they cover? No, they're not going to cover.
No.
How many Texas A&M scored last week?
They didn't score a lot.
31-0 at Sam Houston State. That ain't gonna cut it against App.
No.
We're better than Sam Houston State.
I'm
But
not
their
sure.
defense
Let's
is
take that
decent.
way. If they beat Sam Houston State 31-0, we're better than them. Score should be 24-17.
Yeah,
30-17.
I don't think so.
I mean, that's
Yeah. I'd
surely
say,
better than 31-0.
yeah, 30-17.
It'll probably tell you more than likely it'll be 55 to
I think they
35.
covered the spread.
Well, do you take the over/under on the total points on that one?
And what's that? What is it?
Does it matter?
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to know.
30 to
Ooh,
20.
I said 30-17. I say no.
No?
No.
You don't think either one of those teams put up 50 after
No.
that last week? All right. Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Got a close one
Here you are again. SEC against ACC.
Volunteers favored on the road at Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pick Tom. I took Tennessee.
Pittsburgh at home?
Yeah.
I like Pittsburgh at home.
Now you remember the quarterback's gone.
I know the quarterback's gone, but Pittsburgh's got they've got him going in the right.
I'm not an
direction.
SEC man, but I just think the ACC, these are games ACC must win, and if I lose them, I'm good with that. But here's your opportunity. You're playing Tennessee and you're playing Vanderbilt. If you come out 0-2 here, just think what Alabama and Georgia and people like that are going to do to you.
Yeah.
Wisconsin and Washington State both 1-0. Wisconsin favored at home by 17.
I got Wisconsin.
Yeah, I got Wisconsin.
Michigan State's not afraid to play Akron. They got the Zips this week, favored by 34.
Oh, my God.
We're not going to pick that one. Texas Tech hosting Houston.
This is a good game because this is a future team for North Carolina State to play.
Which one?
Texas Tech.
Y'all should play Houston.
You know.
For the
Houston is on the road at Texas Tech.
For old-time rivalry.
Texas Tech pulls off a victory.
Texas Tech's favored by 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the other team's ranked.
Yeah, I know.
So your unranked team is favored.
Yes.
Texas Tech.
Florida favored by 6 against Kentucky. Been a long time since something like that. Those two teams have been that close. Since what, Jared Lorenzen's been there?
I got
Battleship Florida in the swamp.
Yes.
Yeah, Florida.
No upsets for you guys? No Wildcats?
Not yet.
Terry always talk about them kitty cats.
Yeah, them kitty cats might as well. What's that ranking? Number 20. Maybe they'll be out after this week.
USC at Stanford.
There you go.
USC favored by 8.5.
USC.
Stanford at home?
Yeah, go ahead and take them.
I like them.
There you go. Good job.
Oklahoma State, 11.5-point favorites at home at Boone Pickens Stadium, hosting the Sun Devils of Arizona State.
Oklahoma State.
Who's home?
Arizona State at Oklahoma
I like
State.
Oklahoma State at home.
All right. Michigan's only favored by 52 this week against Hawaii.
Hawaii's really bad. They're really bad.
When Vanderbilt scores 63 on you, you know you're bad.
Number 21, BYU, host number 9, Baylor. BYU is favored by 2.5.
I'm taking BYU. They went to Florida last week and won.
So BYU is at home, I would say, if they're favored, correct?
Yes, at home, BYU. And
yeah, give me the Mormons. Give me the Mormons.
Terry, how many games you got there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Let's get to 15. We'll be done with college this week. Let's go. Let's see if I can find something in the ACC. Another spelling bee this week in the ACC, guys. Duke at Northwestern. Blue Devils.
Oh,
are dogs by 10.
Why am I going against ACC
in Evanston, Illinois?
Northwestern.
Yeah, Northwestern.
There we go. All right. You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, only favored by 7 at Georgia State.
How about that?
Mac Brown there, Tom. We told you these 4 years. Will you please tell us where? Just one time, Tom. Let's pull it up, Terry. We got to get this. Tom, look in the camera and say you and Terry were right about Mac Brown.
We were right about Mac Brown.
Good job.
Thank you, Tom. I know that hurt, but we
I did talk up Mac Brown a few years ago. I'm not going to lie. He has disappointed me. He's like I don't know, man.
He's like a kid in a candy store, and he's hoping everything goes correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever buy something and then really disappointed? Like you went to see a movie or something that's really just crappy. That's kind of the way I feel about Mac.
I mean,
Brown,
I like him, but I
think he's a good guy, but
it's like Tremors 2 wasn't good as Tremors 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Sometimes you've done it. You just need to get out and go back to ESPN.
Yeah, just go back to ESPN where you belong. I mean, he's a good guy. He knows football. He just
he does.
It's just from watching the years and years of Carolina ACC football, I know Terry felt the same way. This recipe I did not think was going to be. You bring in a 70-year-old man into this state. Again, we talked a little bit why. It is so hard in this state. It's not just North Carolina. NC State, Wake Forest, they all have every few years they'll be good for a year or two, but none of them. It's never been sustained. It's never been. It's just based on whatever talent that.
And then here you are. Last week you scored 63, and now you're up against Georgia State, and they favor you by 7.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, come on.
Like last year, the year before, we tell you Carolina fans, hey, you're going to be only favored by 7 at Georgia State. They're talking about national championships, Terry.
Yeah.
They were before the season.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Carolina, Carolina's offense will be good enough to win this by more than 7.
They should.
So I've got UNC.
I think they'll cover. They better.
If they don't, then I am going to be. I mean, you know.
Tom, you got Georgia State, North Carolina?
Georgia State will lose, but it'll be an ugly win for Carolina.
Okay. Illinois favored by 4 against Virginia.
That's a good intersection.
In Illinois.
That's a good matchup. Illinois can pull some stuff off, and they beat Penn State at home last year. Give me Illinois because they're at home.
I'm going to take Armstrong and the Virginia Cavaliers.
Virginia Tech favored by 3 against Boston College.
Oh, this is ugly. Both of these teams lost last week. Boston College lost last second, and then Virginia Tech got beat by Old Dominion.
You got to go with the home team. You got to go with Virginia Tech. When teams are just desperate. The Fighting Holyfields. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win today.
Okay, this is number 15, and we got 4 different, so it's up to me. God, I cannot take Boston College on the road.
Not on the road,
Tech.
not at Virginia
That's
Tech.
what I'm saying. That's hard for me to do. Boston College, who gave one away last week, they led the whole game.
Who'd they play?
I can't remember. They scored at the very end to beat them. But I can't do that. I can't go against Virginia Tech playing at home. So I'm going to take Virginia Tech.
I hope. They usually play well. I remember they gave Notre Dame a pretty good game at home. Last year. But I think it's going to be tough. Who's Notre Dame got today? I thought they had somebody decent today.
That's 15.
Is that 15?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 15.
All right, so I wanted to pull up a couple. This little. Is that who that? That's not him. Is Ty? I had to look this up. All right, I do know 2 of the top 5 were last week, but I wanted to mention in college football, did you see the linebacker grades that they came out with? However that works out, Tom. That 2 of the top 5 kids were Shelby Golden Lions this week in college football.
Well, that's great.
Dax and Jalen Scott.
Yeah.
And when we talked about those Shelby defenses, Terry, they're averaging
they were good.
30 points a game giving up right now. Those teams, they've already this year given up more points than that team did the whole season.
They had some.
You got two All-American linebackers basically in the same back. So congratulations on them. And Kobe, we mentioned last night, Kobe Paysauer with a big game against App. North Carolina App State played basketball in December last year. That game combined for 120 points, 4 less than the football game did.
How about that? Unreal. It was a great game for people to go watch if you like excitement.
Yeah.
For last week, but see, that's not my type of football.
There's a good game for like casual fans.
Like
for all the ladies and regulars in the stands.
AAU people, they like games like that.
We score. Yeah, that's what. Anyway, all right, guys, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we got NFL. We're supposed to pick every game today. I don't know if y'all knew that we were supposed to do that.
We got to do the Thursday game too. Don't forget to do the Thursday.
I mean, like every game.
Yeah, I picked Buffalo.
We were supposed to pick all of them, but we've got that and. We're not going to have any. We had to talk to Philip Day because I got the first win. And then we talked a ton about App Carolina. But usually every year, folks, we pick the NFL picks every game. But we're going to minimize that into something else here in just a few minutes. But, we've got a little baseball to talk about, a little NASCAR to talk about. We'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's time to fall into savings and get ready for cooler weather with a call to Shelby Heating and Air. Right now, they have some fall service deals and other great deals. Like right now, they're offering a fall service special of $89 for a heating system checkup. Don't you be left out in the cold. Also, get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Be ready for the cold with one call to Shelby Heating and Air. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Call 704-487-7877. Online at ShelbyHeating.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Well, here's the bad news. Teddy's Emporium Outlet in the Eastridge Mall in Gastonia is now closed. But here's some good news. You can now find the great savings on much of the same merchandise at Kurt's Premium Outlet in Eastridge Mall. And to show you, Kurt's is having a sidewalk sale this Saturday and Sunday. All shoes, just $3. All men's, women's, and children's clothing, $2 each. Just a couple of samples of the savings you'll find. That's at Kurt's Premium Outlet in the Eastridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
It's time to go picking at Gaston Pickers in Gastonia. They are now open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., Sunday afternoons from 1 to 5. Come check it all out. 28,000 square feet of vendors with antiques, collectibles, furniture, and more. And vendor space is available by calling 704-852-7055. Check out some of the booths at whatsupshopper.com and online at GastonPickers.net. Like them on Facebook, too. Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia, or exit 19 off I-85. Congratulations to Gaston Pickers, celebrating 10 years of business.
Now's the time to get your new appliance from the Appliance Center in Forest City and Shelby. Because now, if you buy a refrigerator priced over $1,000, you get free delivery. Buy a refrigerator priced under $1,000 and get a $20 delivery fee. And buy a washer, dryer, or range and get it delivered for $15 at the Appliance Center. 508 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and at 793 West Main Street in Forest City. Online at theappliancecenter.com.
If you're unhappy about the service you receive from your pharmacy, then see the happy people at the Happy Pharmacies, Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. They'll be more than happy to serve you and your pharmacy needs. See them about preventive vitamins to help fight those colds and viruses. Don't worry, be happy with the Happy Pharmacies, Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Terry.
I think
it's
they're
okay.
doing NFL now. I'm not really sure.
Terry's losing on the power poll. All right, we got to get
I'm
through
losing
baseball and
it.
NASCAR as quick as we can because we were supposed to talk NFL for about 30 minutes, and it's not looking like it's going to happen.
Just want to write quick reminders. Shelby Heating and Air bringing you Saturday morning sports talk. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Online, ShelbyHeating.com. That's Shelby Heating and Air for all your heating and air needs.
All right, baseball. Braves take the lead for the first time this year.
Mets are falling apart again, aren't
now in first place. So the Braves are back there. Guardians in first place by a game and a half time. Y'all could either be in first or third.
Well,
anytime during the
they
week.
had a 7-run lead and almost blew it last night. They're going to blow it. I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs. They don't. They unless they play the Royals. They beat the Royals 2 out of 3, but when they play the Mariners, they get clobbered. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just don't have faith in them to hold it together. I don't think they have enough hitting. Their pitching's pretty good. I don't know if they have enough hitting.
Well, Terry, only 2 teams have been eliminated officially, and your team's not one of them.
So you're exactly right, guys.
Still in the fight.
Look how bad Oakland is. My goodness.
Well, I mean, how many losses we got? 83? Yeah. So we're eliminated.
No, you only got 6 more to go.
Well, I'm just saying if we're 82 and 82, you have to at least give yourself a 500 record.
Terry, you don't think y'all can win 27 straight?
No. Like if we win 4 out of that 27,
they've got the
lucky.
Indians. They got the Indians at 50-50.
I don't see them in the standings.
Look at that, 4 and 6 in their last 10.
I can't find them. Where are they at? What division are the Indians in?
The Central.
I don't see them.
Right there.
Terry, do you see the Indians?
I don't see the Indians.
I don't see them anywhere.
It's right there, Cleveland Indians, right there.
All I know is our record was as good as them Guardians was this past week.
Indians aren't in first. Braves in first in the National League.
How about
y'all get to call yourselves the Braves, though. Oh,
yeah,
that's fine.
Hey,
we
what does it say there? What does
Jeremy
it say? We are looking at what's on the paper.
I know.
Look at that! Look at that pennant up there, boy. That's just extremely offensive. Take it down.
Braves up a half a game on the Mets. Cardinals 8 on the Brewers. Dodgers 18 on them.
1-8 in a row.
Big notes in St. Louis this week. Molina and Wainwright tied the all-time battery record. So them two, the most starts in Major League history. The next one will break the record. And what was cool about that, Terry, did you see who was batting between Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols?
No, I did not.
During this game, it was East Lincoln's own Alex Burleson got his very first start Major League debut in this game in the all-time tying game, and he batted between Pujols and Molina.
I would have took a picture.
Debut, like, that's my dream. He just had my dream right there.
That's what I'm saying. Would you not want that picture? I'm batting between you two.
Yeah.
Take my picture.
I'm sure that, and then with Wainwright on the start, I'm sure he got a copy of that lineup card somewhere. Went 0 for 4. He did score a run, 12-6 loss, however, for the Cardinals in that one. Only 10 Major League players have multiple 50 home run season. Let's see how many guys you can name.
Okay, now tell us that again.
Only 10 players in Major League history have had multiple 50 home run seasons.
Multiple 50s.
More than 50.
Okay. Babe Ruth.
More than one time. Yes.
I just thought I'd get that in. Hank Aaron.
No, Hank Aaron never hit 50 once.
Oh, Lord.
Not once
how about
did
that?
Hank Aaron hit 50 home runs. Hey, listen, no. Between Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds combined 45 seasons, won 50 home run season. It was the year Bonds hit 73.
Yeah, I knew Bonds
the
wasn't
two
one
home
of
run
them,
kings never hit 50 but one time in
Wow,
their careers.
that is amazing.
Go ahead, Terry. Any other guesses? Let's go. More guesses, guys.
Mark McGwire.
Now he's on there.
Sammy Sosa.
Yes. 3 for 3, Terry.
No, I missed one.
Oh, you missed.
Yeah.
We already say Mark McGwire.
Yeah. We got 3 out of 10.
Sammy Sosa's been said. Mark McGuire's been said.
There's been 2 since Griffey.
Cecil Fielder?
I just sold when I said Griffey. Griffey's on.
Cecil Fielder?
Cecil Fielder did it once. There's been 2 since Sosa and McGuire and Griffey. One of them's got Albert Pujols is about to tie one of them right now in his next home run.
It's not A-Rod, is it?
Yes. For 696 will be the next home run Albert hits will tie A-Rod. And then how about Aaron Judge is now joining the 50-50 home run club.
Yeah.
The old fellas y'all didn't get, Jimmy Fox, Ralph Kiner.
I wouldn't have got that.
I would never got him.
Willie Mays.
Oh,
Willie Mays hit 50. Wow.
How about
and
that?
Mickey Mantle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I should have known Mickey Mantle.
How about Sammy Sosa hit 63 times and never led the National League in home runs at any point in those seasons.
Wow.
Never led in home runs.
He shouldn't with a court bat.
That's about A-Rod hit that many home runs.
That's
a lot of home runs.
696.
Yeah.
That's why you take, to me, him and Griffey defensive wise and hitting, those were in Bonds. Bonds' defense wasn't that great, but those two defense and
Golden Gloves,
and
man.
hitting
Was Bonds even playing defense late in his career?
He had a strawberry basket.
Oh, that's right. He played in the National League. He had to.
He had a strawberry basket out there in left field. Y'all thought his head was big. His glove
was
bigger
huge.
than his head.
His glove was huge.
Every inch his glove got, his glove got bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a glove that big. It was insane. Y'all saw the one they hit in the outfield, didn't you? That was he had to swap those out between innings when they dried off.
Yeah.
Just,
that's right.
Did have a huge glove.
He couldn't coast. He's a National Leaguer. He had to play the field.
To sit in left field.
Yeah.
Burleson did get to start in right field. If anybody was wondering about that. I think that's all though on my baseball notes. So we're going to take another break. JP, he said we got a bunch to get to. We got to come back. We'll talk Darlington for a few minutes and this week's race, and then we'll finish up with NFL predictions. Sure to go wrong on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The dog days of summer are here, and the folks at Shelby Heated and Air can help keep you cool and save you up to $750 in discount on quality Carrier heated and air conditioning systems. Plus, if you need service, ask for their $55 radio service special. Just mention this radio ad and get your service call for just $55. Call Shelby Heated and Air, 704-487-7877. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsuppchopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
The Lincolnton Tag Office now offers North Carolina wildlife vessel registration. Make it a one-stop shop for your truck, trailer, and boat at 2683 East Main Street in Lincolnton in the Carolina Shopping Center. Hours of business, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-735-0018.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those three words represent the highest standards for the Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to the test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. And true means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk in Lowell. Join us for our live Sunday morning church services at 9:30 a.m. on WCSL. It's a live church service from Anthony Grove Baptist Church in Krause. And at 11 a.m. on WCSL, it's a live church service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville. And at 11 a.m. on WHS, it's a live church service of the Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable, quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
Classic Ford of Shelby brings you a great end of their summer sales event. Now through September 9th, when you buy a new or used vehicle at Classic Ford in Shelby, you can enter a contest for a chance to win a 65-inch smart TV. But that's not all. Buy now and make no payments for 90 days with approved credit on both new and used vehicles. Over 1,200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from online from Classic Ford Family. And the new Ford Bronco is now available from Classic Ford of Shelby. 1775 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at ClassicFordofShelby.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin the Gang. We're having I forgot to tell them it was a last ad. That's on me. I was
Go ahead.
I was busy playing the commercials because we're having a little computer technical problems, so I'm doing it manually.
Okay.
NASCAR in Darlington this past weekend. Here's the cool story, guys. I didn't have to sneak into this one. I did get in with a real ticket. But we got down there. The thing app, the internet wasn't working up there to get in, and I got down to Darlington, and the internet working down there to get in. So
you went to Darlington, too?
Yeah, next day.
Dang, I hear you, buddy.
I text you 43 with the win
after
you
did.
blew his car
you
up.
did.
Kyle Busch couldn't drive, and Truex couldn't drive.
They lucky Kyle Busch
and
wasn't
Kevin
out there.
Harvick couldn't drive. Y'all quit. If they'd quit pressing the gas pedal so hard and blow the cars up.
Kyle only knows one way, and that's pressing the gas pedal. No matter where he's at.
So took my son down to Darlington. My daughter decided she wasn't going to go this year. And so we it's a nice little trip. It's the first time I've ever been. Now, here's the story I want to tell you, Terry. Last time I was there was 1992. Richard Petty's last Darlington race. I've drove by that track 500 times since then going to the beach and never went back to another race. And Terry, the race I go back to, I take my 10-year-old son, who I was 10 at the time, 30 years later, and the 43 goes to Victory Lane in
How about
Darlington.
that?
I saw Richard Petty's last race in Darlington, and I didn't go back for 30 years. And when I get there, the 43 wins the first time. I think it was 50 years since last time the 43 won in Darlington, much less been there. I think it'd been that long. So, or 35. It's 35 years because he won in the 80s, obviously there. So the King, did you hear about him? He left early. He left the race early. He always leaves a little bit early. These late night drivable ones. He left the race early, so he wasn't even there for the victory party. So the King missed it. So I was there for it. I will say it was, there's nobody that hates Eric Jones. So there wasn't anybody like booing when he
I know.
or hates the Petties or anything. So it wasn't like anybody booing anything. So that was there was a lot of cheers actually for him. Now, the loudest cheers of the night, Tom,
Oh, I know what
what
it
was the loudest
was.
cheer of the night, Terry? There was
When Kyle Busch blew.
Yep, it was Kyle Busch.
Yeah. It was.
I had to be honest.
I was watching the television.
Fans erupted.
And I had all kind of fingers for them people. Yeah. Middle
They
finger,
cheered.
left finger, thumb.
Terry, all your Kyle Busch fans, they had the same fingers for them too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotion, Tom, when the Busch car blew up from everyone. I mean, that's just when Chase wrecked.
The worst part was he was on a caution lap.
Yes.
I mean,
how did that even happen?
That's what I said. I can understand him be flying down there, but it was on a caution lap, and all of a sudden the thing just poof.
How bad a driver you got to be, Tom, to blow your engine on a caution lap?
He is pretty bad.
But yeah, Terry. I mean, I'm talking the place. See, Chase's wasn't an immediate thing because he brought it in and went to pit road and waited a few minutes. But there was a ton of people.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Chase Elliott fans in the stands, and you could see them start moving after about 5 minutes, getting up.
It's one of them things there because most of them were probably Bill Elliott and they just went to Chase. Like I was Earnhardt and I went to Dale. I mean, you know.
Well, then it turned over to now the Truex fans were excited for a little while. So Truex led the fan, and then his engine blew, and there was a big fat man right in front of me wearing the Truex gear, talking junk, and then as soon as he wrecked, Terry, he picked up his stuff and walked straight out.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and Truex is out front, and all of a sudden he blows, and I'm like, heck yeah, Kyle Busch, here he comes. Boom, right around him, and then
Kyle had the best car
as soon
all
as they
night.
took him out, it was the caution lap that they did that.
It's
that
strange
he was
that
done. Then his goes.
You don't see them blow the engines as much as they used to. You know what I mean? They used to blow up more often.
So Rodney Childers, Harvick's. It's not that the engines were blowing up. There's a fire hazard with the new intake, I think is how it is, and it's made of like rubber or something instead of steel.
Well,
This week they've replaced that part with steel. So Rodney Childers said on Twitter, Terry, it's collecting rubber, and so the rubber's sticking to it or whatever, and then it's getting hot, and that's what the fires are. So,
and then if
that's
you
the best
were,
way I can explain it. It's probably not 100% right.
and I know at the end of that race, Denny Hamlin had to be worrying about his because he's out of that same group.
Yeah,
you
Kyle
know,
had to be. But just sitting at the track, Terry, Kyle for the most part had the best car.
Oh,
all
he
night.
did.
You could tell on the track when in the straightaways and stuff. In turns 3 and 4, however, the guys that let's say the guys that drove it in deep like Chase does in the on road courses, those guys were doing pretty good. The problem was you could tell you could gain 4 or 5 car positions, but they could not keep them wheels sticking. As soon as they got to the middle, they would dive at the end. They were diving. Who was behind? It was Hamlin. Hamlin was right behind Jones, and he would dive bomb him. But when you got to that corner, Jones just cruised on through, and he pulled back away. They were coming so close. And Jones made that move a few times all night. So I'm watching. So my son, here's who we're pulling for. I'm pulling for 43 now since Jimmy retired. Kid's still pulling for the 48. So me and him's having a little fun all night. Hey, 43's in front of that 48, going back and forth. But all night, Jones was staying there 6 through 8, and he didn't have the best car. Those 3 cars that blew their engines had the best cars, and he ends up winning. I couldn't have more.
One thing about Darlington that I love is when they were showing them, and this is us watching it on television, but you couldn't put your hand between the car and the wall of how close they were going down there. And I'm like, me off of that one corner, where it kind of comes back in, I'd have hit that wall every time.
I would say this: it is weird seeing that track being as wide as it is, and them running one lane like that. That track's it's not a one lane track. Looking at it, it's got plenty of lanes, but and we were listening to the race going in. They were asking the drivers about how weird it is at Darlington that you have to ride. I think Logano was talking about. You have to ride up against the wall the whole time. That's the fastest line. And you're right. Only complaints, Tom, it's named the Cookout Southern 500.
Cookout restaurant?
There's no cookout in the building.
Yeah.
In fact, we went to order some food, and we got, they got out this big sign up. They had Domino's. They didn't have cookout at the Cookout 500. But anyway, we went to order the food, and you got signed. It's just regular food, hot dogs, corn dogs, whatever. So we ordered a cheeseburger and nachos. This was in the middle of the race, Terry. Sir, we're out of cheeseburgers and nacho cheese. Middle of the race, not like at the end.
It's not like they did not know it was sold out.
Yeah.
You know?
We didn't know this was happening. So and the line was long, and we had to wait forever. So when's the last time you've been in Darlington? Did you know they got
2001, 2002,
right, so
something like that.
You know the roadside is closed down. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so that side. So you folks don't know the roadside is closed down. So you got to walk back in the back. Well, the bad thing about the back is, Tom, it's on a hill. So let's say you're in the 25th row. Well, you got to walk 30 flights of steps just to get to the bottom of the stands. I don't know how many people I've saw that have had too many cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that have a hard time with that.
That were taking breaks on the stairs before you even got to the stands on the concrete stairs on the hill. It was rough for some folks out there.
It's the only place that I know that I can go to in between when there's nobody there, Tom. And when you can go around, walk out on the track, but I'll look for cars coming.
Yeah.
All right, JP, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and pick this week's NFL games. This week, they go to Kansas for the playoffs. Terry, you got a favorite there, or is that just kind
of? No, not at Kansas. It's wide open, too.
Oh, real quick. Sorry, we did forget. JP, give me one minute on this. North Wilkesboro.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Is what they should do. I guess they watch I guess Dale Jr. watches our show, Terry, and listens to us. The All-Star race is returning to North Wilkesboro. They will not be tearing the track up, Terry, and putting dirt on it now because of this.
Thank goodness.
And because the drivers want the old track compounds out there. Jimmy Johnson hinted a little bit that, Terry, he has a 10-year exemption in the All-Star race.
So we could
see Jimmy Johnson next year in North Wilkesboro. We could see a couple other folks that may have some exemptions that don't race anymore show up to race the All-Star race.
Darryl Waltrip might show up.
Well, it's been more than 10 years.
My deal with this is this. A lot of people say, well, you complained about them going to the L.A. Coliseum. To me, that's not a venue for them to go to. Going to North Wilkesboro is you're going back in the past at a place you used to race. To me, that's legendary.
For a non-points race.
That's what I'm saying. That's legendary.
Yeah, we need to have a NASCAR race where there's no latte shop or marijuana dispensary.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to North Wilkesboro. That's good.
Here's the last 10 winners. I'm seeing Jamie McMurray could come back, and Jimmy Johnson. Carl Edwards is 11 or will be 12 years out, Terry, so he'll be right on the outside of that. So Jamie McMurray and Jimmy could come back next year and race in the All-Star race if they wanted to and found a ride up at North Wilkesboro. So
possibility.
And of course, some of the other guys. Well, no, it's the All-Star race. You'd have to get a regular ride to get into that. So that's not like you show up at Daytona and pass. You can't just do that. So Jimmy might get into that. So it's just amazing that it's going to go up there. 0.625 mile oval. All right, JP, we'll come back in just a few minutes. We'll talk more about that obviously coming up in the next weeks and years. We've got to do NFL. I want to do an hour on NFL Day, and I got like 20 minutes. We'll be back. KTC broadcast.
To get ready for cooler weather with a call to Shelby Heating and Air. Right now, they have some fall service deals and other great deals. Like right now, they're offering a fall service special of $89 for a heating system checkup. Don't you be left out in the cold. Also, get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Be ready for the cold with one call to Shelby Heating and Air. 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Call 704-487-7877. Online at ShelbyHeating.com. See their page at WhatsAppShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
The Lincolnton Tag Office now offers North Carolina wildlife vessel registration. Make it a one-stop shop for your truck, trailer, and boat at 2683 East Main Street in Lincolnton in the Carolina Shopping Center. Hours of business, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-735-0018.
Hey, don't worry, that's just Grizzly. He's saying come on in to Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. See, he's the greeter. He don't know he's a dog. And right now, everything on the lot is now 7% off. Plus, ask about 90 days same as cash and their 10-year structural warranty and lifetime floor warranty. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, 2268 Lincoln Highway, 150 East in Cherryville. Now open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Sundays by appointment. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook, too.
The inventory keeps growing at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln. Just arrived this week, a 2004 Acura TSX, $999 down. Also, a 2009 Honda Civic at $1499 down. And be sure to take a look at a 2004 Toyota Highlander at $2299 down. That's Cars, Trucks, and Credit, 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln. Online at ctcautosports.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
It's time to take charge with the new Volkswagen ID.4 EV from Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. It's the first electric SUV for everyone. Classic Volkswagen is a Carfax top-rated dealer and the winner of the 2022 Consumer Satisfaction Award. You can even buy online. And be sure to check out their selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit the website at classicvwgastonia.com. But better yet, drop by soon. 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. That's Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Do they have silver bells at Acre Enterprises? Nah. What about silver coins? Probably not. How about silver gabaloon? You better believe it, and plenty of it. Right now, 3x12 silver gabaloon is just $30 a sheet. Also, 21-foot and 26-foot silver gabaloon is available, along with 3x12 red sheets for $30. Don't forget about their quality-built carports. Compare before you buy. Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Road, Highway 150 West in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
I just want to make sure that our listeners know Shelby Heating and Air sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Give them a call, 704-487-7877, or check them out online, shelbyheating.com.
All right. Some got a fun stat here for you. Let's go to, I did want to mention, who said that? Oh, Des Bryant. Never mind. I want to talk about Des. All right. How about, Tom? Queen of England died this week.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to be appointed the king, but it didn't happen.
We're working on our lawsuit.
Have fun with that.
The Queen's reign saw 6 popes, 14 United States presidents, and 59 different starting quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns.
Well, that's the stat of the week.
There you go. I like that stat. And no Super Bowl.
Well, the Queen. No, what I'm saying, Terry, the curse has been lifted. Tom, we're ready to rock.
Yeah,
I guess.
Long live King Charles.
They already said, too.
Browns.
King Charles assumes the throne. It'll be a short reign. It's like, thanks a lot.
I'd like to go into. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
What we did find out about this is that scientists have not figured out how to be immortal, so we haven't figured that out yet. Because if the Queen is dead and Charles is they're counting his days down
Already.
They want one of those.
Point that I saw that stat. And
they want the young guy. They
59
like
quarterbacks.
The one married to the American. He's not going to become the older brother will. The one
Terry put them in order. Ron Rivera, John Fox, Dom Capers, George Seifert, Matt Rule, best winning percentages by coach in Carolina. Who had the best? Ron Rivera, John Fox, Don Capers, George Seifert, Matt Rule.
Oh, Lordy. John Fox.
He's second. 507 winning percentage, slightly over 500. One game over 500. Number one was Ron Rivera. I read them to you in order.
How about that?
So Rivera at 546. Matt Rule's dead last. 303.
Oh, okay.
303.
They crap talk him on every sports show in America. Nobody has anything good to say about Matt Rule.
We tried to say this when they hired him, is that you hire a Temple or Baylor coach with no NFL coaching experience.
And all his team does is score tons of points.
Yeah, in the NFL, it's all about defense.
Yeah.
You got to earn.
It's not offense.
You got to earn your spot, son.
So was it? So this was basically like hiring a sloppy Steve Spurrier and hoping it worked out. This is what happened. That now, with that said, big game this week. Let's pick some games, guys. We'll start in Atlanta. Saints and Falcons. Falcons are the dogs at home. Saints favored by 5.5.
A lot of home underdogs
in this game.
You want to start first? You want me to go, Terry?
I'll go New Orleans.
Same.
Fix Tom's camera.
Yeah, everybody needs to see him.
Oh,
needs to see me.
Just don't talk, Tom.
The game is starting. Did you see his silliness this week?
No.
He did something silly too. God, what was it?
Did he steal food again?
No, he's a goofball. He's
an idiot.
He's something funny. Saints. I'm gonna go Falcons at home this week. Terry, put me down for Falcons.
Okay.
Marcus Mariota and the gang shocked the world.
Super Mariota.
I just don't know if Winston's there. 49ers at Bears. 49ers favored by 7 in Soldier Field, Tommy.
I'm going upset. I'm going Bears to cause chaos in the 49ers organization. Jimmy G, there'd be the Jimmy G chance. Put him in.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Tom. I'm doing the same thing. I don't think Lance can do it. I think you already be
I was going to
talking.
pick the Bears, and y'all two both did. I was like, there's no way both of them are picking the Bears in this one.
Yeah.
First start in Chicago.
That's what I'm saying. On the road.
Chicago's line's awful. But San Francisco, I like Lance. I don't like San Francisco. I'm going 49ers. I'm not going 3-way on that one. Ain't no way I'm picking a 3-way upset with the Bears.
Okay.
Bengals, Super AFC champion hosting Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terry?
All righty. My pick on this one, guess what? Cincinnati barely made the playoff last year. They'll not make it this year. Pittsburgh with Trubisky goes in there and beats them.
Bengals.
If Roethlisberger's playing, I actually probably agree with Terry. I'm not picking Mitchell Trubisky on the road. I'm going to go Bengals for the win on this one as well. My team already eliminated. I've got the eliminator poll. I did do my eliminator poll. It's down the hall, though. The Lions are out first this year, so no surprise on that one. There are dogs by 5 at home to the Eagles. Tommy?
Fly, Eagle, fly. They get the win against the hapless Lions, who are, I think, improved. They've had a lot of picks, but I think the Eagles get the win.
All right, Terry?
Eagles.
I go on Eagles as well. Patriots and Dolphins. Belichick flew his team down early to make them get adjusted to the heat a little bit in the travel. And so, but they're in Miami this week. They've always struggled down there. A lot of excitement for Tua, even though he's got the weird hand on the offhand. It's not going to work. They're hosting the Patriots. 3.5 favorites in Miami. Terry, do they beat Belichick and the Patriots again?
No, the Dolphins come out with a victory.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins, too. Tyreek Hill show coming to Miami.
Patriots with a victory for me. Ravens at Jets. Joe Flacco. Revenge game against the team that cut him after winning the Super Bowl. 5 years later.
Baltimore.
7 years later.
Baltimore
for the win. Jaguars at Commanders. This might be the game in hell this week, guys. We always have one. The Lions and Eagles. Lions is always in competition. That's always the first game. But Jaguars and Commanders. Commanders favored by 3. Terry, they've got, see if this is a correct statement, they've got not the best quarterback room, but 1 through 3, they might have a top 10 quarterback room. But 1 through the top 1 might not be in the top 20.
I agree. But now I'm going to tell you how
I'm
going to tell you how this
Heineke won a
works.
playoff game last year, did he not?
Yeah.
And then Sam Howell's been throwing it pretty good in the preseason.
And when you think of Washington, they almost like Cleveland. If you go back and look at the jerseys that have come through there at quarterback. But, Washington, this is a team that's going to get all the Commanders ready saying, hey, buddy, we're going to win Super Bowl because they always start off strong. They'll win this week just to keep your hopes up for one more week. So the Commanders win.
Yeah, I'm going Commanders, too, even though no Chase Young for 4 weeks.
It doesn't matter against the biggest bust in NFL history, Trevor Lawrence. Commanders will win this game.
I don't think he's the biggest bust in history.
Well, I mean,
what about Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah, he was the worst.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
Yes.
No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. coming into the draft, people are way higher on Trevor Lawrence than they were on Jamarcus Russell.
Well, they were.
Jamarcus Russell's our last instance of a one pick not doing it. But if Trevor Lawrence busts out, he'll have to be above him, right?
It's his third season.
World
This is Lawrence's third season.
I think there's a difference here. You're talking about going to the Raiders, who legit had a chance if Russell would have been good.
Yeah,
against a guy who's at Jacksonville that has nothing around him. They don't have a defense no more. They don't have offense no more. You can't name a receiver down there no more.
My point was that right now Jamarcus Russell is, but if Lawrence is not successful and he gets labeled a bust,
he may overtake
him. Be the biggest one ever. There is not a single person, Tom and Terry, other than me. If you can find anywhere on the internet, I'll let anyone look that up. Find someone else besides me who, as soon as he went to the NFL, I said he's going to be a bust because he's got long blonde hair. Nobody said, not because you can't even find somebody that says he's going to be a bust, period. And I said that right there from the start. Did I not, Terry? You know it. Like, he was at Clemson. You know why? When I did, Tom, when y'all played him, and he ran around, and I'm like, that's not going to work in the NFL.
Nope.
You can't. You're not going to run around like that and win games. And they're talking about how great he was. I'm like, I thought that was the best thing you could do was run as opposed to throw. But anyway, go on a tangent. We'll skip that game as the game of the week for a minute. Colts and Texans. Colts favored by 7. Is that enough? Should they be favored by way more?
I don't know. New quarterback.
I'm taking the Colts.
I'm taking Colts too. Yeah.
Whatever the spread was, they're like winning by more than 7 against who's Davis Mills?
Yep.
Come on. Jonathan Taylor and Phillip Rivers against Davis Mills and whoever their running back is. Giants and Titans. Titans 5.5-point favorites.
Taking Tennessee.
Yep.
Tennessee across the board. This game could decide the division in week 1. Packers at Vikings. Packers are favored. 1.5 in Minnesota. Tommy.
I like the Vikes at home.
I'm taking Minnesota also, Tom.
Well, I'm picking the Vikings to win the division. I think. I can't.
Green Bay doesn't really have a number 1 receiver, do they, Terry?
No. It's got some rookies.
Aaron Rodgers has been a little mouthy about how bad they've been playing, too. I'm going to go Vikings there, too, Terry. Chiefs at Cardinals. A lot of expectations for both these teams and their fan bases. What we're going to see. Chiefs favored by 6.5 on the road, Terry, with no Tyreek Hill. What you got here?
I got the Chiefs.
I like the as much as you crap talk the Chiefs. I can't believe you're not picking this upset. I like the Cardinals feeling disrespected at home.
They're not that good.
I think it's going to be.
J.J. Watt playing? Is he playing? Is he back this year from injury?
Now this could be, Tom, the best game to watch, entertaining wise, if you like the Appalachian. Carolina
He
game.
just crap talks Pat Mahomes every chance he gets, but now he's picking him on the road to beat Kyler Murray. So I mean, is this
who's Kyler Murray?
Who's going to make you take a loss next week?
The more he talks, the more I want to pick.
That's what I'm saying.
He talked me into it. I'm going Cardinals. He said some bad things.
Yep.
All right.
Raiders at Chargers. Everybody. We've seen someone has picked every one of these teams in the AFC West at some point.
It's going to be
the winner.
Broncos. Broncos had like the number 2 or 3 defense last year, and added Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
They got to be better, right?
I like them, but I think I like the Chargers in this game at home.
I got the Chargers also.
I don't like I'm not big on Derek Carr, but I'll go Chargers at home to win. Buccaneers at Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Tom Brady, is he 6-0 against Cowboys?
No. Yeah, he probably is.
I think it's 6-0 or 6-1, something like that.
Is that a night game?
Yes.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Bucks.
Getting ready to get embarrassed on national television. Tom Brady goes into Dallas, defeats the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas because Dak Prescott is 2-1 against Tampa Bay. The only loss he had was last year when they lost to him. I mean, that was close.
That's like Furman saying we were 10-0 against Appalachian in the 90s, Terry.
Yeah, that's all right. We're playing in the Big D, Tampa Bay.
Who's 2-1 against Tampa?
Did you say Prescott. Dak? Yeah. Oh. He's beat them 2 out of 3 times.
Whatever. Tampa Bay for the win. Denver and Seattle. I don't know who chose this Monday Night Football matchup. Why would they start the season with this god-awfulness is Seattle?
It's on account of Russell gets to go back.
Let's what? Oh, is that? Oh, that's what it is.
That's all it
But
is.
It still should be Monday Night Football. Let's see Drew
I
Lock.
know. Denver will destroy them.
Or no, Geno Smith is our starter.
I know that. I know that. That's what I'm saying.
I know, it's crazy.
You picking Geno Smith to beat the Broncos?
No. Denver.
Game of the week.
You taking Denver?
Well, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Just put a X next to Seattle for me this year. They're going 0-17. I don't know anybody that can
1-16, 2-15. That'd be it. Oh, they'll get up to play 1 week.
I mean, like, seriously. All right, Tommy, it's Browns and Panthers both. Set it up for us, and me and Terry will finish up with some picks. You got Jacoby Brissett. I guess he's starting instead of my boy Josh Dobbs. Calvin and Dobbs is not starting. Honestly, if like we've been saying the last 2 or 3 years, if you give the ball to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt 20 to 30 times a game, you got a really good chance to win the ball game. Surely they're not going to go out here and try to sling it around with Brissett.
They got it, and it might be a bad weather game, so that favors Cleveland. You've got some banged up linemen for Cleveland, which makes me a little bit nervous. Greedy Williams just goes out too, but Panthers have got DJ Moore, but other than that, they don't really have a whole lot on the receiving core. I mean, Moore's really good. Who else they got, Kevin?
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, Robbie.
He's the one that thought Serper was a bear.
So I think that you got a pretty good matchup. This Cleveland secondary against
if you're
Baker Mayfield.
If your wide receiver asks if your mascot is a different animal than what your team says right there in the stadium,
it's not real smart.
Besides that, and do you need to check his eyesight? Like, he's sitting there and thinks that's a bear. Like, is he catching every pass thrown his way? The first time he misses a pass, I'm like, you're going to the eye doctor.
I think
you thought that was a bear.
Yeah, I think that Cleveland's going to try to run the ball and play defense. I think the running game and defense in this game, possibly a bad weather game, will help. And despite the fact they have, pretty much ruined the season before it got started, I like Cleveland to go in there and beat the Panthers.
And I'm with Tom. I'm with him going as I think Cleveland will beat them, and then all of a sudden that controversy on who's going to be quarterback will be jumping back up there as soon as Darnold gets back.
Yeah, it depends, and this is a big moment for Mayfield. He's waited. This is his chance.
Yes.
And in a bad weather game, it may not be his best opportunity.
Let him throw all he wants.
Here we go again because
he's not a 70% completion passer.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game, but here we're going to come down to the end, and Mayfield will throw an interception when he should not.
I was going to say, who's more motivated? That Browns defense going against Baker?
Oh, yeah. You think Garrett don't want to get to him?
He got nothing against Myles Garrett or any of those guys. He's got things against the front
office. Another game within the game will be the Panthers offensive line against Clowney and Garrett.
Yes.
And they're on the interior of the defense. If I'm Carolina, you talk about Baker Mayfield. I don't want Baker Mayfield throwing 30 times. I'm going to run the ball. McCaffrey's healthy. I think, or getting him the ball out in space a little bit. I think if they could attack the interior of the Cleveland defense, I think that would be a solid plan for them, and then use that to set up the pass. Because if they're able to run the ball a little bit, then they'll set up the play action, the rollout pass. That's Baker's strength. So depends what happens on that line of scrimmage. But I think, Terry, you're right. I think it's going to be close. And Kevin, I think you're right. I think the defense in the end, Cleveland's a little bit better. And that's what gets them to win.
I think the only way the Browns can lose this game is bad coaching. I mean,
and they have the advantage in coach.
Turnovers. I can say that. If Brissett throws 3 interceptions,
bad weather game,
so
you might have some
taking
turnovers.
Carolina?
No.
Oh,
Browns.
that's what I was wondering.
But look, we got
Yeah, without getting
Yeah, that's
He's
what I'm
got
saying.
17 games.
Well, I'm just saying, can he get through game one without being out rest of the year?
Terry, I just thought of a question to ask you, but we're too late, and I forgot. All right, JP, thank you for working hard coming in this morning.
Yeah, thank you, JP.
He was up late last night, Tom. Leave that alone.
Yeah, weren't we all?
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. KTCBroadcasting.com.
So the